Show some love to Tyler in that chat. Hello and welcome in. Thank you so much for everybody who's tuning in on YouTube. Welcome into the 331st episode of the Dean Withers Show. And I'd also like to welcome in everybody who happens to be watching this as a VOD after the fact, after the live stream is over. There's thousands of y'all that will tune into this and watch it after the fact. And just know that I appreciate y'all as well. Make sure to drop a comment on the VOD. Let me know that you're here and that you're watching. Now, if you've never been here before, we do debates. We debate Trump supporters. We try to change their minds. There's never been a more important time in my lifetime to try to get people to stop supporting the president. He is a crazy authoritarian POS. And that is just kind of scratching the surface about Donald Trump's and his crimes against humanity and how harmful he is, not just to this country, but to the world as a whole. Now, every day we also like to go through the breaking news, and today's breaking news has to do with yet another attack on the First Amendment from nobody other than Mr. Tyrant himself, Donald J. Trump. He pressured CBS, well, I don't really know if pressure is the right word. Barry Weiss, the current CEO of CBS, is his right-hand woman, into preventing Stephen Colbert's interview of James Talarico, a Democrat running for the Senate in the great state of Texas, from airing live. Now, the FCC attempted to use one of the rules that forces, people on TV, if they are going to give wavelength or time on TV to a Democrat politician, then they also have to give that same amount of wavelength or time on TV to a Republican politician. It's called the equal time rule. Now, this is used to prevent super partisan advertisement from one channel only running ads for Dems and not running any ads for Republicans. But like I said, that's specifically for political advertisements, not for interviews. The equal times rule does not apply to interviews. We could have somebody like Stephen Colbert interviewing Democrats day in and day out, and there's absolutely no issue with it. But Donald Trump has been threatening with the FCC to change that rule and has now pressured Barry Weiss and CBS into actually preventing Stephen Colbert's interview of James Talarico from going live, which, by the way, makes sense because James Talarico is a threat to the GOP, especially in Texas, that is leaning more blue than it ever has in my life today. He's a good Christian. That's something that Texans care about. He doesn't take any PAC money and he stands against billionaires. That's something that the common person cares about. He is a great example of a Democratic populace who I think that we should all take something positive away from. And I honestly don't know why Trump did this, because now James Talarico is more popular than he's ever been before. But yet again, this is another mask-off moment where we're really seeing this facade that he's for the people, that he respects the Constitution, talking about Trump, of course, following. And it's just his authoritarian desires are just taking over. And this is a trend, or more so a continuation of a trend that we've been watching, of course, since J6 and prior, that has gotten especially bad in his second term, because now it's like every day we see a new breach or violation of the law, the Constitution, or separations of powers from the Trump administration, which is admittedly pretty scary. Now, we already do have the very first Trump supporter of the day connected to that live stream. We're going to go ahead and pass him the mic right now to tell us why he supports Donald J. Trump as president. If you want to start it from the top, man, I'd really appreciate that. I know that you kind of started to go into your reason insofar as why you support Trump before I started that live stream on YouTube, but that was just me merely making sure that you're actually a Trump supporter. So just start from the top, take it away, tell us why you support Trump. I'll send you an invite to turn your mic on.
There we go. It's on. Great intro, great work. So I support Trump for the same reason I support you. You provide a mirror. You place a mirror up to what's the reality of the current state of the world. I believe that without Trump being so draconian, so aggressive, so, lack of better terminology, demonic, there would not be movement towards us coming together and a concerted and genuine, authentic progression of the human race, of the global population. I think that I see Trump as the pain that is necessary for us to develop an authentic understanding of what the ills of this world are and what we need to do to rid ourselves of them. So it's a very unique position that I come from. And as a Native American, Cherokee, who's all of my uncles, great uncles, on my paternal and maternal side are Native American. For far too long, we've been BS'd by both sides of the line, both sides of the aisle. And I think for the first time in modern history, we have a genuine opportunity to decide which side of history we want to be on. So it's not that I am a hateful person towards minorities or
Well,
I am racist in some
so
capacity.
it actually is that you're hateful towards marginalized communities, and you're doing so intentionally to attempt to accelerate progress and progressivism,
Well,
which
I'm
I
not
think
hateful.
is
I'm
a
not
very
hateful.
sinister. But you support the hate against marginalized communities. You say that it's a
I don't
necessary evil.
support the hate.
No, you do.
I
Like that's a
support
crux of your
Trump.
argument.
I support Trump acting as a catalyst of undeniable change.
Yeah, but the catalyst of undeniable change is the hate towards marginalized communities, is the execution of citizens, is the denial of food stamps to 3 million low-income Americans, healthcare to 10 million low-income Americans, attacks on our allies, an attack on the Constitution and separation of powers. That's the catalyst of more progressivism. And listen, I agree with you, okay?
I completely understand that.
I do truly think that we're going to see a blue wave come midterms. I think that we're going to see a progressive revolution unlike unlike anything else I've seen in my whole entire life. Okay, but
Exactly.
for you then to say that you support the catalyst for that progressive revolution being the harm caused by the Trump administration because it caused that progressive revolution is insane. Okay? Like,
Is it insane?
The
or-
only
or is it
reason why the
revolutionary?
progressive, like, the reason why this progressive revolution exists in the first place is because of the mask off insanity that we see to be true downstream of the Trump administration today that has resulted
Precisely.
in material loss of life and suppression of human rights. Okay?
How do we get
And
there
I don't
otherwise,
think,
Dean?
And I don't think,
Dean,
and
how do we
under-
get
one-
there
one moment.
otherwise?
And I don't think under in any scenario whatsoever should you ever support, okay, the violation of human rights. I don't think in any scenario ever you should support the suppression of dignity. And one moment I actually have to cut myself off there because chat, y'all are losing all credibility. Yesterday, you guys accused, right, like maybe like 4 of my guests of following minors when they didn't. And we're
What?
already on that bullshit again today. You guys are saying
someone
that
said
this
I
guest
follow
follows
minors?
kids. I know that you guys don't have a shred of fucking evidence that this guest follows kids because his following list is hidden. No one in here knows that he follows kids.
Someone
Yet
said I
there are
follow
like there are so many of y'all spamming that in the chat. Like, bro, like what the fuck are you doing? Like seriously, stop
major
that
troll.
bullshit. It's like dude, that is A, such a serious allegation, and B, it throws me off because then all of a sudden I start to subconsciously get this recognition that every time the chat is spamming that the guest is following kids, they're actually wrong. Okay? So just only do that when it's true and don't spam it in the TikTok chat. Open a private Discord ticket on my server and drop a screenshot of it. You know what I mean? It's just never do that, bro. Never do that.
Truly
But anyways,
appreciate that acknowledgement because that is so defamatory and it's absolutely insane. I actually have smacked over 20 people in local 24-hour fitnesses here in Sacramento when I was in a sauna and I seen them doing very weird things towards children. So I really hate that someone would even say something like that. If I could eliminate.
I just want to continue to speak here because I was in the middle of my sentence.
Oh yeah, you
Okay.
definitely were. My
Yeah,
apologies.
listen, man. I don't really debate accelerationist bullshit because that's exactly it. I think that it's bullshit. I think that it's indicative of like brain rot. I don't think in any scenario whatsoever human rights violations justified, and the accelerationist position hinges on human rights violations being justified. I hope that you have a good rest of your day. And once again, the reason why I don't really address the accelerationist position is because not enough people hold it in order for it to be a credible threat against the country. You know, it's like literally like 1 out of every 10,000 people is an accelerationist that acknowledges the harm that the Trump administration is causing and then says that they support it because it accelerates progressivism, right? It's just like, you know, like that one guy in the street corner just like spouting nonsense. So let's go to move on to the next guest right now. Only hop inside of that queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president. We're looking for Trump supporters to join the live to have a conversation with us about why. If you'd like to support me, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree, my bio on TikTok, pin message on YouTube, and the handle's also at the top of the phone screen. Welcome in Blue Heart 175. Do you support Trump? Blue Heart, I'm going to give you around 5 seconds here to respond to the question. Okay, they're not here. What everyone in the chat's asking why I kicked, I literally just explained it. I don't really debate accelerationism, just because I think it's like clearly deranged and not enough people believe it for it to be a threat against the country. Welcome in. Do you support Trump, Jeffrey?
Dean, can you debate my dad?
Is he with you right now?
Yes, bro.
Then you can pass the mic off.
Papá, ven aquí, papá, órale. Órale, papá, ven aquí. Ven aquí. Ven aquí, porfa, dale. Porfa. Bro, he doesn't want to debate. He's such a pussy, bro. Oh my god.
Okay, moving on to the next guest. Only up inside of the queue, if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president, please do follow our rules, everybody. Please do follow our rules, everybody. We are looking for American adults that support Donald J. Trump as president to hop in that queue to come up here and have a conversation with us. For the 12.8 thousand people over on TikTok, I'd really appreciate it if y'all would double tap away on that phone screen to try to get this live to send out to more people. Because obviously right now with nearly 13,000 people in here, there's simply just not enough viewers in order to find Trump supporters, which is crazy, right? Like we should be able to find some Trump supporters with 13,000 viewers. Welcome in, Cam. Do you support Trump? If you have 5 seconds. Nope, Cam's gone. All right, banned. Moving on to the next guest, Diego. Only opposite side of the queue if you're MAGA. Y'all already know it. We've been repeating the rules literally all day long, but you know it is what it is. There's still a bunch of trolls in the queue. Moving on to the next guest right now. Still looking for the next guest. We got Elena loading in. We got Marshmallow loading in. Marshmallow Curry. What's up? Do you support Trump? 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Goodbye. Elena, do you support Trump?
Play Farm Sim, Dean?
Sorry, your account's automatically
Please?
banned. Moving on to the next guest. We got Hayden Fowler loading up in the box. Let's go to put the live rules on top of the phone screen. You got to be 18 plus American and MAGA. Welcome in, Hayden. Do you support Trump? Hayden, yeah, we could hear you. You like literally playing on the PS4. Do you support Trump?
You have a room temperature IQ.
Okay, very nice. So are you a Trump supporter?
You have a room temperature IQ.
We heard you the first time. How many continents are there? How many continents are there? Dang, bro. When you accuse people of having a room temperature IQ, make sure that you first like have a 3rd grade education. You know, just to call out for you in the future. Keep that in mind. Moving on to the next guest right now. We're still looking for that very first Trump supporter to come up here and give us an argument insofar as why Trump is a good president. If you don't know me, my position is that Trump is literally the worst president of your life. And maybe the reason why it's so hard to find somebody to come up here to tell us why they support Trump is because there's not too many Trump supporters left. And those that are left know that they don't have an argument and that he sucks. Still trying to find one person, dude. Welcome in, Ginger. Do you support Trump? Ginger, do you support Trump? 1, 2, 3, 4, banned. Goodbye. Moving on to the next guest. This is unreal, dude. We literally just started the live stream. I don't understand why there's people in the queue that have already like put their phone down. Like we've been live for just a matter of minutes, dude. So it's kind of crazy that there's so many people in the queue that it's just aren't even present. Hi, do you support Trump? You have 5 seconds to respond as always. Left preemptively. Moving on to the next guest right now. We got Chase Edwards loading up in. Hey, Mary, thank you so much for the $25 donation over at Venmo. Says, happy Tuesday, Dean. Caught you live. Well, welcome in, Mary. It is so good to see you, and happy Tuesday to yourself. Thank you for the $25 donation. We love you, Mary. Let's get 250 Mary W's down below in that chat. Thank you. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, but why do you vape, bro? Vaping's horrible for you. It's disgusting.
How do you?
21.
What year are you born in?
2004.
Okay, and why do you support Trump?
Just vaping is disgusting, bro.
Okay, I agree. So why do you
It's
support
nasty habit. Look at your face, bro.
Trump? Sure. So why do you support Trump?
You're absolutely ugly. I mog you, buddy.
Okay,
I mog you. Hit 315
whatever.
bench. Hit
Whatever.
315
So why do you support
bench,
Trump?
buddy. Hit 315 bench, buddy. You
Okay,
suck.
Why do you support Trump? Are you gonna leave now? I have a crystal ball in my hand that's telling me that you're about to like leave and run away because the only reason why you came up here is to bitch, moan, and complain
Beta,
because you
buddy.
know that I'm
You're
smarter
beta.
than you, and you have absolutely zero reason to believe that Trump is the
15 bench.
president, and you know that I can
315.
prove you wrong.
315.
3rd grade education.
Take that thing out your bio, bro. You're not big, dude. You can't even hit 315 bench, bro. You're a beta.
3rd grade education.
You're a beta, bro.
So true.
You
3rd
are a
grade
beta.
education. Hey, I have a question. What are your
I'm
thoughts
in
on Donald
college.
Trump admitting to the sexual exploitation of women and girls?
Bro, I don't care.
You don't care about sexual
politics, bro.
exploitation?
I don't care about politics. What are you doing to change the world? You're
How do you
doing nothing
spell
but sitting on your
politics?
phone. Politics.
Wow. Honestly, 4th grade education. Good
Wow.
job.
Wow.
4th grade
Bro, you're a
education.
beta.
Why is that?
How?
Why am I a beta?
Have you hit 315? What's your max bench, Dean?
245.
Oh, you're so weak, bro. How much do you weigh?
150.
All right, I weigh 165 and hit 315, buddy.
Very nice. That's impressive. But how does it make me a beta for not being able to do the same thing?
Because you're a beta. You just low test. It's because you vape.
Okay, so you're arguing that I'm a beta because I can't bench 315?
And you vape.
Oh, okay. So if I didn't vape, would I still be a beta?
A little bit less, but still, yeah.
Okay, why?
Because 350, you should be able to hit 315, bro.
Okay, why?
Because you should. You're a male.
Okay, you understand that like 0.001% of males can bench 315 pounds, right?
It's pretty easy to me.
Okay, right? Because you're part of the 0.001%, assuming that you're not lying.
Okay, well, answer this question. You keep asking me questions.
Wait, one second. Do you think that Trump is a beta?
About politics.
Do you think that Trump is a beta?
I don't care about Trump, bro.
But is he a beta?
I don't care.
Is he? Oh, so you're not going to affirm if he is or is not a beta? Well, we know that he doesn't bench 315.
I don't care about politics, bro. The world's going to be what it is, dude.
Okay,
you're not,
so
what are you doing to change it?
Wait, so basically you're only willing to call people beta that you care about. So because you called me a beta, you care about me? So you're a fan?
No, I just constantly see your
Wait, because you just said that you were unwilling to call Trump a beta because you do not care about Trump. Yet you joined my live stream, came up here and repeated it like 15 times that you think I'm a beta, which like would necessarily apply in accordance with your logic that you care about me.
Trump's less of a beta than you because he doesn't drink or smoke.
Okay.
But
well,
you
I mean, I'd argue that he's significantly more of a beta than me, considering the fact that he's been held civilly liable for the rape of a woman.
I mean, you're racist and you smoke, so I mean, I put that up there too.
Oh, no, I just got a new racist allegation. Yeah. Do you think that raping women is wrong?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so then why would you say that the rapist is less of a beta than me?
Is he in jail?
No.
Okay, then I don't think he raped anybody.
Okay, so if not in jail, therefore didn't rape anybody. So first and foremost, you're obviously very uneducated. According to RAIN.org, only around 2% of rapists ever see full legal accountability in the eyes of the law. Not to mention that there's two different types of courts in this country. There's criminal courts that determine criminal responsibility and send people to jail. Then there's also civil courts that determine civil responsibility and just make people pay out settlements, or I guess like money, not technically a settlement. And the type of court that determined that Donald Trump was guilty of rape was a civil court. They said, yes, he is guilty, and because he's guilty, he has to pay the victim $83 million. Not to mention that there's many people like listed inside of the Epstein files that very clearly are in jail. I mean, there's like literally a document inside of the files with an image that's redacted, but the explanation of the image is like 5 men like holding on to a naked 12-year-old bloodied up girl, okay, with like one of the men with his fingers inserted into her female member, okay, but the only 2 people that have gone to jail in association with the files would literally be Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. So therefore, you think the man that was pictured with his finger inside of the female member of a 12-year-old, okay, is not a rapist, which is a pretty bad argument. All right, that's obviously insane. So, would you like to apologize for that bad argument and say, Dean, you're right, I'm wrong?
I don't think it's a bad argument, bro.
Okay, so then therefore you think the picture of the guy with his finger inside of the 12-year-old girl is not a rapist because he's not in jail.
You're pulling one thing. The Epstein files, bro, haven't even been completely like solidified. They haven't found all the details within this. This is a big.
Yeah, but one of the details that they have found is literally a picture of 5 men holding onto a naked 12-year-old girl. I just want to clarify that you don't think the old man holding onto the naked 12-year-old girl is a rapist because he's not in jail, right?
Well, why isn't he in jail?
Because he hasn't been prosecuted.
Okay, well, when does he get prosecuted?
Well, as soon as we don't have a corrupt DOJ, right? But as it stands, he's not in jail. So would you argue in accordance with your logic that therefore
Who's the leader
he's not
of
a
the
rapist?
DOJ?
Pam Bondi?
Oh, yeah, Pam Bondi. She was like struggling to answer the questions, wasn't she?
I have a question. How tall are you?
6'4".
Oh, yeah, you're on steroids.
Oh, I'm not, bro.
Oh, no, you are. Like,
Thanks for the steroid allegations, though, bro.
No. You actually are. Like, no, like, trust. 6'4". I mean, you put like what?
Would you like me to post my blood work on my? Would you like me to post?
You put 6 inches on your biceps in 7 months at 6'4". You understand that if you were on steroids, it'd likely take you 3 or 4 years to do that, right?
Absolutely not, bro.
Yes. No. Actually,
bro.
at 6'4", it would take you 2 to 4 years to throw like 4 to 6 inches on your biceps. It would.
Hey, Dean, you're wrong, bro. Don't.
Some people had steroids trying to come up here and tell me that I'm a beta because I can't bitch 315, bro. Unreal. Bro, crazy work. Let's move on to the next guest, folks. Only up inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president. Here we go, everybody. We got the next guest loaded up in here right now, folks. I mean, we're 31 minutes into the stream. Still can't find any Trump supporters. It's just literally been like a bunch of like very like very emotional men just coming up here and crashing out. Hi, Josh. Why are you flipping me off? Just another emotional man. Hi, Josh. So I know that y'all can't like see this right now, but like there's somebody that joined the TikTok live stream that's just flipping me off. Why are you doing this?
You're fucking idiot.
Wait, can you repeat the screen? Yo, Mickey Mouse called us a fucking idiot. Crazy work. Moving on to the next guest here. Only happens out of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump as president. I'd really appreciate it if you guys could try to do your best to abide by those rules. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. Hello, do you support Trump?
You.
Okay, I don't know why you're pretending to be thwarted. That's weird. Band, moving on to the next guest, guys. Only up inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president. We're still looking for that very first guest of the night, y'all. Listen, guys, MAGA is dead, and there's no coming back. It is a dead political movement. There's no reason to support Trump whatsoever, and now we're just having like a bunch of like children really pissed at me because I, killed MAGA. And I've been exposing them day in and day out for, the empty movement that they are. So that's why we have like all these men coming up here saying "fuck you, buddy," saying "oh, you're a beta," screaming the N-word. It's just because that's like the crash out of the emotionally insecure, petulant child, right?
Blah, blah, blah. Hello.
Hi, do you support Trump?
Yes, but I'm European. Is it great?
Not okay. We're just looking for people outside of America. Moving on to the next guest, J-Dog. As well as thank you so much for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. Ellie, who says, why do these callers care so much about how much somebody could bench? Trump can't even stand for gold anymore. Appreciate you for the $10. Also, like a 245 bench is definitely nothing small. So, obviously rage baiting. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
No.
Okay, then you banned. Still looking for that first guest in the night. That guy's 30 minutes in and can't find anybody. Looks like MAGA's truly dead. Lauren, this came in 13 minutes ago, but I want to thank you. Thank you so much for the $20 donation over at Venmo. Show some love to Lauren down below in that chat, y'all. Lauren with the $20 says, first-time donor, long-time watcher. It's an absolute disgrace what is going on in our country. Keep fighting the good fight against these sick freaks. Oh, thank you so much for that love, Lauren. Let's get 200 Lauren W's. Hello and welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
And how old are you?
I am 20.
And what year are you born in?
2006.
What month?
January.
Okay, makes sense. I'm going to thank a couple people, then I'll pass you the mic. Melanie, thank
Go
you so
ahead.
much for the $5 on Venmo. Says, are your eyes blue? They are. Thank you for the $5. And then, let's see here. Over on PayPal, thank you so much for the... Oh. Charlie? Charlie? Thank you so much for the $333 donation on PayPal. Oh my God, bro. Thank you. Thank you so much for the love, Charlie. That is ridiculous. Dude, oh my God. I don't deserve that much love, man. Seriously, to the moon and back with every bone in my body. Thank you so much for your kindness and your generosity, Charlie. I come on and I do these live streams every day and I have for years. And sometimes people like you will just make so insanely generous and kind donations that I don't and wouldn't deserve in a million years. And I'm just always so flabbergasted. So Charlie, seriously and sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for your kindness. Please, I want every single person watching to pretty please show some love to Charlie down below in that chat for at least the next 10 minutes. I want to see 5,000 Charlie W's. Thank you. Holy shit, dude. As well as Charlie, I'm going to go ahead and send you a personal message. All right, I'm probably going to do that at the end of the stream. Thank you so much for the kindness. I'll make sure I send you a personal message. You know what about. Thank you for the $333, dude. Show some love to Charlie. Let's go to reoriented around the debate. Fucking hell yeah. W's for Charlie down below. Payne, take it away. Tell us how you still support this calloused authoritarian president, Mr. Trump.
Well, I'm not saying he's necessarily the best dude. He may do some bad stuff, but he knows how to run a country. He has kept us safe. He has done a pretty good job. Not saying what he does on the side is pretty good, but he does a good job at keeping our country pretty good, I'd say.
Done a good job at keeping the country pretty good. Okay. How so? Like, in what sense?
Well, during his first election, gas prices were cheaper than they ever had been under the Obama administration. And he came in promising the wall, which he is still working on building due to the Biden administration tearing down part of it, which was kind of wild if we think about it. But anyways, that's not the subject. I just think dude's doing a pretty good job. And honestly, he's been the best president since I've been around, so...
Okay, well, I'm just going to address, the very, elusive reasons you've given us so far. I feel like if he is truly doing a really good job, then you'd be able to give more specific reasons. But anyways, you said that he's done a good job because of the cheapest gas prices ever. Okay, well, he actually hasn't talked about gas at all in the last year and a month because he hasn't done anything with oil, okay? He's just completely ignored it because the Biden-Harris administration set him up so well with the highest level of domestic production ever Fun fact. Now, the second point was that he promised us the wall and then Biden tore down part of it. So this is also really funny. Under the Biden-Harris administration, they proposed to build another 150 miles of the Trump wall in a bipartisan border bill to like entice the Republicans to vote for it. But then Donald Trump called the Republicans and told them to vote it down. So in other words, Donald Trump voted down an additional 150 miles of construction on his border wall, all because it would have made the Democrats look good. Not to mention that actually bringing up the construction of the wall under his first term is a counterpoint to your argument that Trump gets things done. Because remember, he promised us that in the next 4 years, in 2016, that he'd build this wall between America and Mexico, then stick the bill to Mexico. Then he only built less than 50 miles of that wall, less than 3% of the total border wall, and then stuck the bill to the American DoD budget. Like, that's actually a really good example of how he doesn't get things done. And then you just kind of like elusively like pointed towards this conclusion that Trump is good for the economy. Dude, be quiet. That's wrong. Last year, 2025, worst analyzed jobs report on record since 2003 if we ignore recessions. Most manufacturing bankruptcies since 2009, the peak of the Great Recession. And then last month, in January of 2026, worst single month job report since 2008 at the beginning of the Great Recession.
Well, if he wasn't a good president, then why'd he win the election over Kamala?
I mean, was Biden? Do you think that Biden was a good president?
No.
Yeah.
That dude
Biden wasn't a good president. Then why did he get the most votes ever in any election in American history? See how quick your argument was?
Because they rigged the voting mechanism. It was proven that they rigged the votes.
Wait. Yeah, okay. You can't say that on TikTok because it is so wrong that like you can't even say it on TikTok or else it'll like get your account taken away from you. But just to clarify, TikTok and for everybody watching, don't ban me. I'm correcting this misinfo. That is wrong. There's absolutely no evidence of widespread fraud in the election that we're both elusively referring to. That is just a big lie piece of propaganda that's been parroted for years. And by the way, keep in mind that I think that Donald Trump has proved that this is a big lie because right now Donald Trump has unilateral control over the Department of Justice, and there hasn't even been one indictment made, okay, against anybody for all this fraud. So be quiet, shut up, you're wrong. Now, to generally respond to the point, if he's not a good president, then why do people vote for him? Well, you're like setting forth this expectation that if a lot of people agree on something, then that thing is true. You should probably tell this to the 90% of humans that have lived for decades, centuries, eons, that thought the earth was flat. Just because a lot of people agree on something does not make it true.
Well, then, by that standard, then a lot of what is in existence shouldn't be true.
I don't think that we should find anything to be true simply because a lot of people agree on it. We should only find things to be true because of the supporting evidence for it. Now, do you mind if I ask you a question?
Can you give me an example of that? Yeah, go ahead.
So if Biden called for the execution of his political opponents, like the Republicans in Congress said that they should be publicly hung, do you think that Biden should be impeached and removed from office?
I mean, everyone's entitled to public of speech. If he passed a bill saying, hey, then I need this done, then maybe so.
No, I'm saying if he said that's what he wanted to do, like as president, would you say that any reasonable American would stop supporting him?
I got to go anyways. I got to head to work. But look, my alarm's going off. You have a good one, Dean.
Okay, he's gone. Okay, well, 9 minutes. Much longer did he last with me than his ex, so... Moving on to the next guest, Cassie. Let's go to get that next Trump supporter loaded up into the box, y'all. Dude, we could only keep them on the line for like 3 seconds, dude. I'm trying my hardest to find a debate for y'all. I swear to God. Hey, William, this came through 3 minutes ago. Thank you so much for the $20 donation over on Venmo. Says the patience that you have for these fools. I don't know how you do it, but thank you. You know what? I'm not going to lie, man. I think that I do have a bit of patience. I've been working on it. I've been getting better at it. Thank you so much for the $20. Please do show some love to William down below in the comment section for the $20 donation. Thank you, William. Huge shout out to you. Same thing to Riley. Thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate you so much. Welcome. And do you support Trump?
I do.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 21.
21. Okay, sounds good. Okay, dude, I just have 2 people to thank real quick, and then I'll pass you that mic. Y'all are going crazy today. I legitimately have oh my God, I have no clue what's going on today. Heather, oh my God. Heather, thank you so much for the $100 donation on Venmo. And Kay, thank you so much for the $111 donation on PayPal. Heather and Kay, you guys are the absolute goats. That is just so insane, bro. Like, I don't even know what to say. Just thank you. Thank you so much for the love, Heather and Kay. It's so insane. I want to to see 1,000 Heather W's and 1,000 KW's. Let's go ahead and read their attached messages now. K with the $111, holy crap, says, you are the reason I still talk to my 70-plus-year-old aunt because she is so close to the brink of understanding why Trump is bad. It's a cult. If she took the MAGA title from herself, she would literally be a socialist with her belief system. Thank you, Dean. Oh, dude, I love hearing stuff like that. I'm happy, that I've been able to help reduce your family tension. And you're absolutely right. I know people like that too, that if it wasn't for this MAGA label, would be a socialist. Like, I've seen that firsthand. I know where you're at, Kay, and hopefully you're able to change your mind. And then Heather with the $100 says, love your TikTok lives and all the facts that you point out. Keep on educating. Dude, thank you so much, bro. Show some love to the MVPs of the hour, Heather and Kay, down below in that chat while we hop into this next debate. As well as Betty, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal. It's good to see you. And then Davina, thank you for the 2. Go ahead and take it away. Tell us how the hell you still support this terribly tyrannical, wannabe dictator, complete authoritarian, mask-off rapist, Mr. Trump.
I can't say that I'm like fully, oh my God, I love Trump kind of person. I just like some of his policies. Like, I'm very big on, if you come to the country legally and everything, I completely agree with that, but I don't think that you should be here illegally. Like, I really agree with ICE and deportation kind of thing.
Okay. You could give me as many reasons as you want, since I'm writing them down.
Oh, okay. And I really like the wall idea. I agree with what he's been doing, especially with like the health in America and all that. I can say that I do not agree with what he did with the like redoing professional degrees. Like, my best friend, she's a nurse, and how that got demoted to not a professional degree, I absolutely hate that. But I don't know, I'm not really here to argue. I just want to have like a civil conversation kind of thing, because I'm kind of more leaning towards the middle now than I originally was, if that makes sense.
Right. Oh, okay. So let's see. The first thing I want to respond to is the fact that you said that you liked what he's been doing with health in America. So last year in 2025, we had a 90% increase in measles cases. Why?
I didn't know
Why? Because of RFK's speculation that vaccines cause autism. Okay? There is no way that we could have a healthy country when our minister of health, is a deranged lunatic that carried a bear's carcass through Central Park that thinks vaccines cause autism and raw milk will make you live to 250 years old. There's no fucking way. Zero way. No. We need an intellectual. We need somebody with a degree. We need a professional, or else this is what will happen. Not to mention that through his policies actually made Americans a lot less healthy as well. Like when he took healthcare away from 10 million low-income Americans, what do you think that's going to cause? Significantly worse health outcomes. And then B, just a general redistribution of wealth from the working and low class to the rich. I mean, according to according to, what's the name of the institution? I'll have to remember the name of the institution. But according to a study done by an economic institution, the Big Beautiful Bill is reducing the purchasing power of over half of this country, once again, the low and the middle class, which then leaves them with less money to spend on healthier foods, which typically cost more.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I did not know that at all.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the second point, wall. Like I said to the first guest, the wall is actually a big counterpoint against his efficacy as president. First term, he promised a wall between America and Mexico, said he'd make Mexico pay for it. By the end of his term, 4 years in, he built less than 50 miles, which is 3% of the total American-Mexico border, and then stuck the bill not to Mexico, but to the DoD budget. So that was actually a promise that he made and couldn't keep.
Okay. You're telling me a lot that I just didn't know, kind of thing.
Yeah, I get it. And your first point is that you agree with ICE and mass deportation. Yes. So the typical way that I'll counter this point is by describing to you why you shouldn't agree with mass deportation. But in all reality, the better way to do it now is just to point out that, regardless if you agree with mass deportation or not, you shouldn't agree with Trump's mass deportation because it hinges on lawlessness and authoritarianism. Like, we see the Department of Homeland Security under Kristi Noem and Trump issuing unconstitutional orders to ICE agents to arrest people without judicial warrants under typical scenarios. issuing unconstitutional orders to ICE agents to barge into people's homes without judicial warrants under typical scenarios, which is in violation of their Fourth Amendment rights. Defending the lawlessness that we see from individual ICE agents, like the murder of Renee Good, the murder of Alex Preddy, the murder of Keith Porter, saying that these 3 innocent American citizens were domestic terrorists who deserved what happened, and that we need to stand with the ICE agents who murdered them, and they were acting in accordance with DHS policy. Not to mention the other cases of like deporting legal immigrants. Like every day there's hundreds of legal immigrants that are detained for deportation, particularly asylum seekers. Then other instances such as deporting undocumented immigrants with no due process to seek out in El Salvador, where they are then beaten and tortured.
Okay. Yeah. I see your point. I really do. My main thing about deportation is that I don't agree with illegals being here kind of thing. I
Because
fully
they broke
agree
the
with
law?
somebody. Do what?
Because they broke the law?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, well, if you want to hold people accountable for breaking the law, how about we start with a 34-count felon, adjudicated rapist, adjudicated fraudster, that pardoned 174 people that were convicted of violent assault on our police officers when they were engaging in domestic terrorism by raiding our capital. How about we start with holding him accountable, right?
I mean, I agree. He was tried, wasn't he, for that? Or was he never tried for that?
Yeah, he was tried for his 34 felonies, let off of any punishment because he became president because you voted for him, okay? He was tried for rape inside of a civil court, okay? And has been let off, it was found guilty and has been let off of any punishment yet because he's president. He has the ability to, like, beg and plead to the Supreme Court to hear his appeal case, but in all reality, they won't do. He's just simply postponing that accountability with the use of his presidency, okay? He's also evaded accountability in the Epstein files. The DOJ has illegally redacted his name over 950,000 times, according to Congressman Jamie Raskin. Okay, he's evaded accountability for his violations upon the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the 10th Amendment, the 14th Amendment, and the 22nd Amendment, all within the last year and a half because of the presidential immunity clause that was adjudicated by SCOTUS not just a couple years ago. So on and so forth, right? If you want to hold people accountable for the crimes, let's start with Trump, let's start with Pam Bondi, let's start with Christine, and let's start with the DOJ.
You are really swaying me. I can say that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But that was pretty much it. I didn't come to argue. I just kind of wanted to have a conversation with someone who was more educated on what was going on and kind of just really have a good conversation.
Yeah, sounds good. Because you seem to be pretty open-minded, I usually like to do this thing where I ask you a series of questions to see where your red lines would fall against Trump and to see if these red lines have actually already been crossed and you just don't know it yet. Is it okay if I do that real quick?
Yes.
Okay. If Donald Trump sexually exploited women and girls when they were naked by barging into their dressing rooms, looking at their naked bodies, and then turn around and publicly boast about it and called it funny on TV, would you still support him as president?
Oh my God, did he do that?
Well, if he did do it, would you still support him as president?
Oh my God, no, that's sick.
Okay, and hopefully this will be able to change your mind because he did do that in 2005 when he was talking to Howard Stern on his radio show. Let's go and take a listen to that now. The more frequent viewers of the live stream hear this every day, but I mean, it really is a clip that changes minds, so I replay it.
Your obligation to do that.
So you have that.
Well, I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else, and no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. Right, I want to make sure that
like
everything
doctor,
is good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women, and so I sort of get away with things like that.
So does that do it for you? Does that put you across the line?
Oh yeah, no, that for sure puts me across the line. That's absolutely sick.
It is sick. Thank you for recognizing that. See, that should be the response of the average American. If you stick around, okay, now that your mind has been changed and listen to the way these other Trump supporters talk, I think I won't only be able to convince you to stop supporting Trump as president, but we'll also be able to convince you that MAGA is a cult. Okay, because like the typical response that we hear from people on this live when I play that clip isn't, that's absolutely sick, I can't support him. Right, like because you gave that response, there's like literally people inside of the queue that are inside of the comment section that are speculating that you're trolling, right? Because you gave that response. Like 99 point out of 100.
Like
I don't believe that. I don't believe that you're trolling. But like 99 out of 100 people, once they hear that clip, okay, that join this live at least. The MAGA guests that join this live say like, oh my God, I don't care. It's not that big of a deal. It's 30 years ago. I don't care. He wasn't president. I don't care. I don't care who he is. I just care about his policy, so on and so forth. And I think that's indicative of a cult. So I appreciate you so much for coming up, and I hope if you decide to tune into these live streams, I'll be able to convince you that not only that Trump is a bad president, but also that MAGA is a cult.
Yes, I will. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you for your time. You take care, all right?
You too.
All right, let's go and get the next guest loaded up into the box right now, folks. Don't worry, Rose. I'll disconnect you. Let's go and move on to the next guest right now. On the opposite side of the queue, if you happen to be MAGA, we got the next guest, Benny, loading up into the box right now, folks. Well, that's a successful mind change, making me feel good. Wish we could have more of that, man. Hell yeah. And God, you know, that wasn't even scratching the surface with Trump, you know? The hole goes so much more deeper than that. Hi, welcome in. Do you support Trump? Benny, over on 5 seconds to respond before I kick you. Okay, Benny's not here. What about you, Jack? Jack is still loading in. We'll give Jack a minute. We'll go to DGR8, dude. What about that? Oh, Jack's not connecting. What about DGR8? Did they even load up? No, they disconnected. We're still looking for that next Trump supporter, y'all. Only up inside of that queue if you're a fan of Trump's, y'all. Please do try your best to follow the rules of the live stream. You know, what we do here is important. These conversations are good. So I'd appreciate it if y'all would try your best to follow the rules. Hi, welcome in, Johnny. Do you support Trump? Okay, he just left. Let's go and move on to the next guest. I think that the Trump supporters are really scared to talk to me today. Because, like, the ones that aren't scared and do come up here for a legitimate dialogue, I've had their minds changed, you know? Muse, thank you for that motorcycle. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I am, well, actually, I'm a minor, but my mom wants to debate you.
I'm sorry. I heard that I'm a minor and I kicked you. If you happen to be with your mom right now, feel free to hop back inside of that queue and I'll debate her. I just heard I'm a minor and kicked. So feel free to hop back inside of the queue if you are with your mom right now. And you could just automatically pass the phone off to her. I'll happily have a conversation with her. Love to debate parents. There's some of the crazier debates that we have on this live stream. So I'll keep an eye out for her. I think her name was Kaden. I'll keep an eye out for Kaden in the queue if she decides to rejoin it. In the meantime, since I don't see Kaden back inside of that queue, let's go to move on to the next guest. Welcome in, Carrie. Do you support Trump?
Yes. Well, I voted for Trump.
Are you driving?
Yes.
Well, no worries. But just can't have you on the live while you're driving. That's TikTok TOS, my friend. Moving on to the next guest, we got Mike loading up. And dude, Gentry, holy cow. Thank you so much for the $100 donation over on that YouTube live stream. Fucking hell, Gentry. Show some love to Gentry down below in the comment section for the insane level of love. I want to see 1,000 Gentry W's. That is Gentry. Gentry with 100 says, I will never understand how these people can ignore or defend the accusations about Trump in the e-files. I will never understand how they could only defend such an evil man. The only things that scares me more than Trump are the people who still support him. You know, yesterday we changed the mind of somebody who was a Trump supporter over the Epstein files, which I think really furthers and proves your point. I agree, dude. It is so gross, Gentry. Thank you for the $100. Welcome in, Mike. Do you support Trump? Mike, you have 5 seconds to respond before you're kicked. Goodbye, Mike. Moving on to the next guest right now. Here we go, everybody. Still looking for the next Trump supporter. Right now, there are very little of them. Not too many Trump supporters, guys. We got the next guest, Julia, loading up here. And then Juliana, thank you so much for the $10. Who says, wondering if you've had thoughts on the Trump admin sending asylum seekers to Cameroon until they've agreed to return to their original countries. Fucking hell, bro. Yeah, my thoughts are that I hate that bullshit. That's insane. Appreciate you for the $10, Juliana. Welcome in, Julie. Do you support Trump? Julia is not here. Goodbye, Julia. Welcome in, James Rogers. Not James Rogers. Banned. Moving on to the next guest. Gain. Gain, H.
Play Farm Sim, Dean, please.
Banned. Dude, the queue is full of kids. Unreal. We got Rick's loading up in. Hey, Heather and Alec, I appreciate all both of the $5 over on Venmo. Thank you so much for that love. And then Michelle, thank you so much for the $5 as well. And then Sydney, thank you so much for the $20, who says, you've changed my mind a lot on Trump. I no longer support him. Keep spreading knowledge on those. Keep spreading knowledge to those. Oh, Sydney, dude, I love to hear that so much. Thank you so much for changing your mind. I should be sending you $20, not the other way around. I appreciate you, seriously. I want to see 200 Sydney W's. And then also, I want to see 500 Caitlin W's for the $50 donation over on Venmo. It says, you make my day every day. I'll support you any chance that I can. Caitlin, thank you so much for the kindness. Thank you for the $50 donation. I appreciate it. Seriously, it allows us to continue to do this for 4 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I'm really happy to hear that you take something positive away from the live streams. Thank you so much, Caitlin. Show some love to Caitlin. Ricks, welcome into Sport Trump.
Thank you. Oh, I do support Trump. I'm just wondering, I don't anymore, and like, I guess, like, what happened with?
Super based, Ricks. Love to hear that. Love to hear that you no longer support Trump, but we are only looking for people that do follow the rules. If you're hopping inside of that queue, they're very simple. They're very easy. You just have to be an American adult that supports Trump, y'all. That's all. Katarina, this just came in. Thank you so much for the $25 donation over on PayPal. It says you're amazing. Thank you so much for the kind words, Katarina. I hope that you're doing all right. I hope that you're enjoying that stream. And thank you. Thank you so much for the $25. Let's get 250 Katarina W's in this chats. Welcome in ZY. Do you support Trump?
Can you hear me?
Kinda. Do you support Trump?
No, I actually want to get on here and say that I support you, not Trump.
I appreciate that, ZY. You take care. You have a good rest of your day, all right? Let's go to move on to the next guest. Guys, is there anybody in here who's a Trump supporter? Like, bro, this is honestly, like, kind of insane, man. Like, not even, like, a bad insane. You know, I just love to see so many people that don't support Trump. But I just want to make it known that we are looking for Trump supporters. And we have over 20,000 people in here. And we can't find any. Hello,
yeah, you're cooked. The real man arrived, bud.
Do you support Trump?
Yeah! Yeah! Let's go, baby! Wow!
Are you talking to me through, like, an Xbox 360 Connect?
Bro, hold on. Yeah, that was my Bluetooth mic, bro. My bad.
How old are you?
So what's going on, Z? You ready to get cooked, little bro?
That was like really corny. Can we get some corn
fun.
emojis in the chat for that? That was like so fucking corny. That was so, dude. Oh my god,
dude.
Listen,
that guy. That was my brand entrance.
It takes a lot. It takes a lot to like make me like cringe. Oh my god, I'm cringing so hard.
You're getting lil bro. That's why you're cringing, because you know you're getting lil bro right now for the first time in your life.
I guess when you say things, they just magically become true, huh?
They absolutely are true. I don't even need to say it. I just do.
Right.
I need to remind you you're a beta.
Yeah. So obviously a Trump supporter. Don't even need to ask that. Why do you support Trump?
Because he's going to get rid of you. He's going to push for the legalization of Schedule 1.
Wait. Don't say the names of any drugs. If
I'm
that's
not
what
gonna.
we're gonna say. Schedule 1. Ooh.
No.
You said that he's gonna get rid of me. What do you mean by that? Is that a threat? Is that like what does that mean?
No, it's non-violent. You know that. Come on.
He's gonna non-violently get rid of me? What does that mean?
We're gonna arrest you. We're gonna jail you and possibly deport you because you're a threat to the United States.
Why am I a threat to the United States?
Because you're a threat to the liberals. You're a threat to moderates. You're a threat to because
why?
You're spreading propaganda.
Oh, so you're saying that you want me thrown in jail because I go live every day and prove why Trump is a bad president?
No, I want you to go to jail because you're spreading propaganda.
Can you give me
you're forcing
an
people
example
to spend
of this propaganda?
Yeah. So whenever you're on this live, spewing absolute nonsense to both
I want
the
a specific example.
A specific example? I guess the last live. I mean, that'll be the last guest.
What did I say? That was very harmful propaganda that should literally get me jailed.
Trying to change their mind.
Okay, so you think I should be sent to jail for trying to change the minds of Trump supporters?
You're trying to use fascistic measures to change the minds of the common folk and use their money for your benefit.
Since when was conversation fascist?
You're trying to change their mind.
I know. How's that fascist?
They don't want to change their mind.
But she did. I mean, she literally changed her mind.
You're trolling.
How you know this? How?
I can just hear it. There wasn't enough conviction.
I don't know, man. I think that MAGA has a serious problem.
What's the problem?
Usually we see this problem represented with people coming up here and just calling me a beta, screaming slurs or whatever. But I think that the root of this problem is also shared by this guest. Because your takeaway from seeing this live stream is that I should literally be thrown in jail because I'm effective at describing why Trump is a bad president.
No, you're stealing money from random people.
Fuck it.
And I think that's...
What the hell do you mean?
You should be doing this as a nonprofit. As a nonprofit.
1 second. Stealing money?
Turn off your donations, yeah. Absolute funds.
So you just recognize that there were donations. So people choose to donate to me. I'm not like stealing money from their bank account.
Oh yeah, as if your mind rays aren't playing an effect in that, bud.
Mind rays?
We know what you're doing. Be quiet.
Thank you for the galaxy. You think that I'm like...
Stop
brainwashing people into donating to me?
You're the anti-sea turtle radiation.
Okay.
We know what you want.
It's a troll.
No, it's not a troll. You know who I am.
Yeah, it's a troll.
I know you, bro.
It's a troll.
Oh yeah, what's
a troll? Let's go ahead and move on to the next guest, bro. Dude, get the hell out of the live. Get the hell out of the live, man. We got that one girl blown up, and that's literally her name. Let's go to get her up in the box. Hi, welcome in, D-Sport Trump.
I don't, but I just have a question for you. Can I ask?
I'm sorry. We're only looking to talk to Trump supporters. Hey, April! Thank you for the $10 over on Venmo for stealing money. I appreciate you so much for helping me steal your money, April. Let's get at least 1,000 April W's because we stole $10 from your bank account. Same thing to Caitlin. Thank you so much for the $10 over at Venmo as well. I'm so happy that I could steal from you. Thank you, April and Caitlin, for allowing me to steal from you. And then Betty, thank you for the $5 as well over on PayPal. I'm so happy I could steal from you too. Hi, welcome in. Do you support Trump?
100%.
Okay, well, you're like 13, so goodbye. This came in before. Oh, hey, Sarah, thank you for the $20 over on Venmo. Who says, MAGA Slayer Scholarship Fund. Keep cooking them, Sarah, you and Parker and Santana. I'm your hippie millennial supporter. Well, I appreciate you so much for the $20, Sarah. Let's get 200 Sarah W's down below in that chat. And I guess I should also thank you so much for allowing me to steal your money. You know, it's almost like just, taking candy from a baby. I just reached into Sarah's pocket and whoop, slipped out the $20 bill.
Hail Hitler, nigger,
and I think that they're very obviously a Trump supporter, saying how much they love Hitler and screaming racial slurs. But can't do that on the live. That's very bad, so we ban them. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
We are shot.
Well, dude, I mean, literally, like, the Trump supporters that we're having join today are either having their minds changed or they're just, like, coming up here and, like, spamming the N-word. No in between. No in between. Like, MAGA's really, like, lost, dude. They're so fucking lost, man. Hi, do you support Trump?
Yes, but I have a question first.
I actually don't believe you. I'm sorry, man. Welcome in, AG. Do you support Trump?
I got my mom here who would love to talk to you.
And I'd love to talk to her.
Dean. Hi, Dean. I'm Leslie, AJ's mom. And so here's my position. I am a moderate, and I have to choose between generally two people in a presidential election. And unfortunately, really qualified people don't always run for president. That's the sad part. But in the choice, the person has to be able to do a job and execute on the wishes of the American people. In the first administration, Trump did some things that were good, like did the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act in 2017, and did revised the NAFTA agreement to USMCA, and boosted border security, and did the Afghan Accord, so kind of an international peace agreement. And he promised to do a lot of the same things this time around as well. And after the last administration, we needed some economic reform. So I see the inflation rate going down. It's been going down the entire year that he's been in office so far. Energy is more affordable for people. Gas prices went way down in this past year. International agreements are being made all over the world. And yes, there's some controversial stuff going on too. But I just look at accomplishments more than words. And I can tell you the rhetoric that comes out of both sides is ridiculous. But I like to see when things get done. And if they get done, then okay, check the box.
Okay, I was able to write all that down. Do you want me to respond to everything you said, or do you want me to just focus on a couple points?
whatever you want to focus on, Dean.
Okay. I mean, so the way that I wrote your argument down was to break up what you said about his first admin and then the second admin. So I'm just going to quickly respond to the things you said about the first admin. Okay. You said that you're a fan of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, fan of the USMCA, and then fan of the Abraham Peace Accords. It wasn't the Afghan Peace Accords, it was the Abraham Peace Accords. But anyways. No worries, you're good. So in response to your first claim about being a fan of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, I would rank the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act a really good C- or D+. Because you're right, at the end of the day, the average American was helped some, but overall, 85% of the cuts in the bill went to members of the top 1% when they only pay around 40% of the taxes, meaning that they were disproportionately benefited over the middle class, which increased wealth, income, inequalities. Not to mention that bill also cost $1.9 trillion. And according to different analysis done by Harvard economists on the left and the right, alongside the Congressional Budget Office that is ran by Republicans, only increased the GDP by around 0.6% per year, which is equivalent to around $70 billion, which meant that bill put us in a total net deficit of $1.2 trillion and increased wealth and income inequalities. So that's why I'd rank it like a good C- D+. If you want to have a chance to respond to that, feel free. If you just want me to continue on to the other.
That's fair, but I think what he has done is capitalize on that first administration in this one, and has implemented some additional tax cuts for the middle class, including trying to get not taxing Social Security, which is great for old people like myself when we eventually retire, and the tips, the no tax on tips thing, and things for people who are in the hospitality industry is great.
Building off on that onto the Big Beautiful Bill in this term. I'd rank the Big Beautiful Bill in F. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act was significantly better than the Big Beautiful Bill. The Big Beautiful Bill is genuinely one of the worst pieces of legislation that we've had in modern American history. Okay? Full stop. First, it kicked 10 million low-income Americans off of access to Medicaid when we already have 40 through 60,000 Americans dying per year via lack of access to healthcare. How does that help us? Same thing with the fact that it kicked 3 million low-income Americans off of food stamps. And if you're curious why it kicked all these people off of healthcare and food stamps, well, it's because the bill already cost $5 trillion as is. So in order to keep it from costing $7 trillion, he defunded Medicaid by $1 trillion and defunded food stamps by $156 billion. And then when we actually evaluate the substance of Big Beautiful Bill, sure, we'll see like a good provision here and there, like no tax on tips for 2 years, no tax on overtime for 2 years. But the total net impact is very destructive. According to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, it actually reduces the purchasing power of the average American making at or under $51,000 per year, with the really big hits being the cuts to healthcare, being the cuts to food stamps, the cuts to the ACA, allowing that subsidy to expire. So now 45 million Americans in the working class are paying 300% more, going from like $500 monthly premiums to $3,000 monthly premiums. It's a terrible bill. I mean, the richer gets richer, the poor gets poor, and that's, Donald Trump's eudaimonia, because I'm not really led to believe that he cares about anybody outside of himself, and he's rich, and if, it means the poor die to make him richer, I think he'll take that every day, all day.
I disagree, obviously, but what I was going to respond to on that is a lot of the cuts that you saw in the big beautiful bill and what you've seen with the healthcare crisis is really goes back to ACA and the fact that that was going to expire at the end of last year to begin with. In the big beautiful bill, when you talked about cuts to Medicare, Medicaid to disadvantaged folks, a lot of that language in there is applicable to people who are not documented citizens in the United States.
Lie. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that's a lie, because maybe you don't know that that's a lie, but that's false. That's not true.
Well, the funding goes to the states, and the states apply it the way the states do. And
that's also not true.
Well, they actually do, and in California, they actually support millions of undocumented citizens on Medicaid.
Yeah, that's also not true.
Well, you can say it's just not true,
I mean,
or we can talk about the actual facts. Okay.
Yeah, I'd say that we talk about the facts. So first and foremost, you said that the people harmed by the cuts to Medicaid in the Big Beautiful Bill were undocumented immigrants. Not true. Matter of fact is that in 1996, we passed the Personal Work Order and Responsibility Act that strictly limited and prohibits any public welfare benefit on the federal level from being given to undocumented immigrants. The 10 million people that are losing Medicaid, A, it's Medicaid from the federal level, and B, every single one of them is citizens. Now, The second point that you made here to try to justify how it's taking it away from undocumented immigrants was like, well, the federal government gives money to the states, and the states take it and then they spend it on systems of benefit for undocumented immigrants. And you gave California as an example. California did sustain some undocumented immigrants on Medi-Cal. They actually shut that down. And then point number 2 here, there's another piece of legislation that works in tandem to that Personal Work Order and Responsibility Act of 96 that I already pointed out, that limits and prohibits states from using the money they get from the federal government to fund undocumented immigrants. Any and all benefits that undocumented immigrants are eligible for at a very limited level in only 10 over 50 states are necessarily and legally have to be funded through state tax, not from any subsidy or benefit they get from the federal government.
Well, that all is partially true, and partially there's a loophole here that we're dealing with, and that is that undocumented, or I should say illegal immigrants in the United States, in many states, all it takes is a valid ID, state ID, to be able to apply for Medicare, Medicaid benefits. You do not have to prove citizenship to get a driver's license, for example, or a state ID. And so when they have those identification credentials, they are no longer quote unquote undocumented. Now they're just illegal.
So also not true. So you do have to prove citizenship when you apply for Medicaid or Medicare. You just don't know it. So when you apply for Medicaid or Medicare, you have to be able to provide your social security number. And then on the back end, then Medicaid and Medicare, okay, they look at that social security number and they ensure that it belongs to a citizen. And then they ensure that that citizen is you.
Or a tax ID number. They can use that tax ID as well.
Yeah, but the tax ID number has to belong to a citizen. Like that's just a fact. Like I understand that you've been propagandized into believing that undocumented immigrants are beneficiaries of Medicaid and Medicare because that's what Trump has been telling you for years now. But Trump is a liar. Okay, he's a really big liar. That is just simply not true. The facts are not consistent with that claim. They never have been and they never will be. There are laws on the books that strictly limit and prohibit anybody from giving systems of public benefit to undocumented immigrants with federal money or on the federal level outside of EMTALA, emergency rooms and whatnot. All right. And if you don't believe me and you don't believe the laws on the books, just believe this. Okay. We know that it violates the law to take federal money and spend it on undocumented immigrants in like 99% of scenarios.
It does.
So then
It does,
why is the
according to
Trump
law.
Department of Justice, okay, they haven't indicted a soul, not one singular person, for taking federal money and spending it on undocumented immigrants? Not one. Why haven't they?
Well, let's go back to what you said about undocumented citizens and tax ID numbers. First of all, you can get a tax ID number if you're not a citizen of the United States.
Which is why I said that they check it for citizenship.
But they don't. That's
They do.
the problem.
They have
And
to. They're legally required to.
They don't check. That's
Well,
what I'm
according
trying
to
to
whom?
say.
What's your source?
Well, I work as a contractor for the federal government, and so I happen to know some things about that. And they don't have the time or bandwidth to be able to do that. And what actually the big beautiful bill, the cuts in it, applied to is mostly the overhead for those big programs, and therefore people and personnel that were also laid off. You probably heard about the Doge cuts, but that was more than the Doge cuts. So a lot of people were laid off of the federal government jobs, and therefore they don't have the bandwidth to check all of that. So what's happening
I'm sorry.
is
That's just a claim that you're literally making up. You could give me no evidence for this outside of your own testimony. I swear to God. I swear to God, you could give me no evidence for this outside of your own testimony. It's a myth. It's a lie.
Where's your evidence?
Sure. Go on Google, type in Personal Work Order and Responsibility Act of 1996. The very first
No,
thing that
it's
it'll
not
say.
the law, but the actual way that it's being executed is the problem.
Okay, for sure. Then my evidence is Doge. They were supposed to weed out illegal corruption inside of our government. Spending federal money on undocumented immigrants is illegal corruption inside of our government. Doge didn't find one person spending money on undocumented immigrants, which would have been illegal corruption inside of our government. And my evidence for that claim is the fact that Doge never said they found anybody, and there was no official nor formal recommendations for indictments made to the DOJ.
Yes.
Also, by the way,
At
you
the
said
federal-
that they don't have the bandwidth to ensure and check for citizenship from anybody applying to these systems. For the most part, it's automatic. Like they have automatic systems that ensure that they're citizens. E-verification.
That isn't true. That is not true. As a matter of fact, a lot of
They're
stuff is
overlooked
still
by
kept
humans,
in
but they
paper.
are.
I'll tell you at USCIS, They keep a lot of files in paper in caves, quote unquote. But they really are caves. And there are boxes and boxes of immigrant files that are all paper.
Okay,
and they're
can you
being still
tell me
now
why?
digitized.
Can you tell me why there's no formal recommendation made for an indictment to the Trump DOJ by Doge for like anybody taking federal funds and illegally spending them on
Well,
undocumented immigrants?
I can explain that. I can explain that. Yes.
Do it.
First of all, some of the big beautiful bill recommendations were supposed to squeeze these programs to be able to push down the responsibility to the people that are auditing in the states at the state level. The federal level, there wasn't anything done that was illegal or against the law because the federal government allocated the resources the way they're supposed to the states. And so what they're trying to sniff out now is to get down to the state levels and try to dig into the state records. And that's what you're seeing in Minneapolis.
You just conceded. You just conceded. You said that there's nothing illegal going on at the federal level. Okay? There was 10 million American citizens that were cut off of federal Medicaid.
So it's a federal government program, yes, but it is administered by your states. And so it's the same thing as SNAP. In the SNAP program, it's also administered by the state. You have to go down to your county office and apply.
So there's federal programs and there's state programs. Okay?
Correct.
All right, but the federal program of Medicaid is what 10 million people got cut off on.
That's because they downsized records, they cleaned up the rolls, and they made sure that they got rid of duplicate applicants. There's a lot of fraud going on at the Medicaid.
No, not even the big beautiful bill says this. What so many people are losing coverage for is the imposition of a new work requirement. It's like even the Trump administration in their own legislation says that you're wrong. The main reason why so many people lost Medicaid from the big beautiful bill is because they imposed for the first time ever an unprecedented work requirement, including every able-bodied adult with children under the age of 14 to be working at least 80 hours a month.
20 hours a week, that's right. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that if they're able-bodied. So I support that.
I could tell you why you shouldn't support that.
Okay.
Because it's an essential social program. I agree that our government should be incentivizing employment. I agree that able-bodied American adults should be working at least 60 hours a week. Okay, sorry, whoa.
A month, yeah.
Whoa, 80 hours a month, okay?
Yep.
And I agree that we should incentivize that employment through the use of other non-coercive economic policy, all right? Minimally coercive economic policy. But we should not, incentivize that employment, with essential social programs. We should never hang an essential social program over somebody's head and say that you could only access this essential social program if you are working at least 80 hours a month. And I think that my point here becomes very clear as long as we talk about like another essential social program, like for instance, calling the cops. Like, how vehemently would you disagree with the imposition of a work requirement on the cops? Like, how crazy would it be if a president came along and said, in order for you to access this essential social program that is funded by the taxpayers, the police, you at least have to be working 80 hours a month, given that you're able-bodied? How insane would that be?
Well, that would be very different because here's the deal. If you go back to the Constitution and what the president's power is supposed to be, it's number one, provide for the common defense. So if the federal government can't keep us safe, then they're not doing their job.
Okay, and I'd argue that the police keeps us safe, but so does healthcare. Okay, because in the same way that police helps keep people alive, healthcare helps keep people alive.
Well,
in the same way that the enforcement of good law in society extends the average lifespan of people. Okay, so does healthcare, so does Medicaid. Okay, and the same way that access to the police like increases the likelihood that somebody will be able to work over the course of their life, so then they don't get their legs broken by some like lunatic criminal. Okay, so does healthcare. Healthcare also ensures the common betterment of the people, right? There's no distinction between the essential nature of Medicaid for low-income Americans and the essential nature of calling the police for all Americans, and that is exactly why you shouldn't support a work requirement in either of the two things. So please tell me, what are the relevant differences between access to your local police force and access to Medicaid as a low-income American that justifies a work requirement in one circumstance but not the other?
Well, I think we would agree that mental health is health. And there are statistics that support the fact that people who are able-bodied, who are not busy, if you want to put it in quotes, busy, if they aren't working, aren't as happy. They have a much higher statistic of depression. rate of depression, I should say, and mental health issues. So I think having some requirement for work actually supports that mental health statistic.
Okay, then we should apparently we should advocate for the betterment of the population's mental health by imposing a work requirement on calling the cops, so then more people work, right?
Well, I don't know about calling the cops. I'd went back to the
right. So then what is the relevant difference between access to the cops and access to Medicaid that justifies a work requirement on one but not the other?
Well, I'm going to keep going back to the Constitution because the Constitution doesn't.
I'm not led to believe that you care about that document at all.
Well, then you don't know me very well because I'm very much a constitutionalist.
Okay, so then what are your thoughts on Donald Trump threatening the First Amendment by saying that it's now illegal to criticize him in the media? What are your thoughts on Donald Trump threatening the Second Amendment by directing his DOJ to try to find any way to ban any and all gun ownership for law-abiding trans-American citizens? What are your thoughts on Donald Trump threatening the Fourth and the Fifth Amendment by giving a directive to DHS and ICE to arrest people without a judicial warrant under typical scenarios and raid and barge into people's houses without a judicial warrant, which is also in violation of the Fourth and Fifth Amendment? What are your thoughts on Donald Trump violating the 10th Amendment by illegally deploying the National Guard in Illinois? And by the way, that's not my opinion. That was literally the opinion publicly given by the Supreme Court that is 6-3 conservative leaning. What are your thoughts on Donald Trump clearly violating the 14th Amendment by passing Executive Order number 14160, where you try to take birthright citizenship away from the children born to undocumented immigrants on American soil, even though they've had that right since 1868? What are your thoughts on Donald Trump threatening the 22nd Amendment by saying that maybe he wants to run for a third term? What are your thoughts on Donald Trump threatening the first article by saying, I don't care if Congress doesn't pass voter ID laws, I'm going to pass voter ID laws, trying to say that he has the power of Congress? What are your thoughts on Donald Trump threatening the second article by saying that we need to nationalize and federalize the midterm and general elections, taking that power away from the states so then he could run it himself, even though the second article literally says that that is a power bestowed to and given to the state? And what are your thoughts on Donald Trump threatening the second article, particularly the supremacy clause that says that he has to act in accordance with the Constitution, but has obviously acted out of accordance with the Constitution with everything I just listed?
So I know you don't want me to address every single point you just made, but I will summarize it by saying this. Donald Trump says a lot of things. And I'm going to go back to my initial statement to you. And that is, I don't really care what people say. I care about what they do. And he says a lot of silly things, stupid things, bad things. People might say racist things, okay, along the way. So those kinds of things I don't support. When you say how do you still support Donald Trump? That was the question, right? So I still support him because the basic things that I think the federal government has stood up to help us do, he is executing on. And that is, like I said, providing for the common defense, promoting the general welfare, which he's trying to do by doing a lot of things for the middle class. And I think that he's also making us much more safe on the world stage than we have been in the past. What?
Do you know what I'm showing you right now?
Sorry, he had the phone. He's showing me now.
This is an executive order. Can we agree that this is something Trump did?
Yes.
Okay, so you said that you don't care about the things that Donald Trump says. You care about the things that Donald Trump does. Okay, so you care about this, right? Because this is one of the things he did, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this executive order, number 14160 for your reference, okay, was signed into law, or more so signed into order, by Trump January 21st of 2025. And this was a strict, intentional, and belligerent violation of our Constitution that you should care about as a constitutionalist. This executive order stated and ordered, okay, that if your parents are undocumented immigrants and you were born on American soil, you are not a citizen and you have no legitimate claim to birthright
totally
citizenship.
disagree with that. I agree with you on that point completely. You and I are in 100% agreement. That's why I'm saying there are things I disagree with Donald Trump on.
Okay, but one of those things is like literally intentionally infringing on the Constitution. That's a pretty damn big thing.
Correct. And I'm hopeful that our elected representatives in Congress would never pass anything like that into law or change our Constitution as an amendment.
Exactly.
Right?
You just have to be hopeful that the checks and balances will work. Well, you don't merely need to be hopeful that the checks and balances will work, and you could rather ensure that we won't have these petulant and intentional constitutional violations if we just didn't have somebody like Trump in office. Okay?
Maybe.
And then I also just want to respond to something else that you've said here real quick, is that you say that you care about what they do, not what they say. You should absolutely care what the president has to say, okay? Because the president sets the tone. Why?
I understand.
Because he is the most powerful person alive. When Donald Trump says that he thinks his political opponents, the Democrats in Congress, should be executed, you shouldn't just write that off. That is the president of the United States of America going against the core American values that we hold near and dear, saying that if you disagree with me, you deserve to die. You should care about Donald Trump saying that we just need to get rid of the Constitution and terminate all of its rules, violations, and articles, okay? Because that's something that sets a new precedent of lawlessness and this dictatorship-esque authoritarian. And then talking about the other things that he's done, okay, yes, there was an illegal order to ICE to arrest people with no judicial warrants. Unconstitutional, okay? There was like millions of illegal accounts of Trump's DOJ illegally redacting his own name and the names of many others inside of the Epstein files, defying Congress and breaking federal law. Like, all of these things matter, regardless if they're merely things that Donald Trump has said because he sets the tone, or because they're things that Donald Trump has done and there's been a real material impact on the lives of many Americans because of it.
Well, you and I will probably disagree on this, but the judicial warrants that you're speaking of are required only because the states and local governments are not working with the federal governments to hand over criminal aliens as peacefully as they should be doing in the jails themselves, rather than releasing them into the community, so that federal agents have to go into the communities, and then it causes all of these other issues.
No, they're required because of the 4th and 5th Amendment of the United States Constitution. You should know this as a self-described constitutionalist.
No, what's required from someone who is an illegal alien, they are protected by the Constitution, but we have immigration laws and they have an immigration court. And once they have a final order of removal, which most of these folks do have and they've overstayed, then there is no additional due process due them.
The final order of removal is a judicial warrant for their arrest.
So where I'm going is...
like you said, what's required is a judicial warrant. Thank you for conceding to the point that the Trump administration is doing something illegal when they tell their ICE agents that they could arrest people without judicial warrants.
The criminal aliens, okay, of the 4,000 people who were removed from Minneapolis, I'll just use it as
criminal
an example.
aliens. Is Trump a criminal alien for raping E. Jean Carroll and being a 34-count felon?
No, I mean, I like I said, I'm not going to comment on him as a person. I don't necessarily like Donald Trump as a person.
It's person who makes the policy, but go ahead.
So who is the choice? I guess that's my question to people who are Trump bashers. Who did we have as a choice? And I would posit that we didn't have a good choice, and therefore a lot of people are not extreme MAGA, as people might try to make them out to be, but maybe they made a choice of who could actually.
Their choice was Kamala Harris.
Well, that wasn't a very good choice in my mind.
Why was she worse than Trump?
Well, Kamala Harris had a really hard time answering questions.
I thought you didn't care what people say. I thought you didn't care what people said.
Well, when they're campaigning, that's all you can do. And her record in California, if you want to talk about what she's done.
But I mean, you literally just said
that. Terrible.
Wait, 1 second. You said that you don't care what people said.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Let's get off of this.
I mean, I want to clarify. I don't think that she did have a hard time answering questions. But like when I was bringing up the fact that Donald Trump literally called for the execution of Democrats in Congress, you're like, I don't care what he says. I care what he does.
So let me retract the statement
bringing up the fact that he
saying,
racistly depicted Barack and Michelle Obama as literal apes and monkeys. Don't care.
Well,
I actually want to talk about. I just want to talk about that.
I fell into your troll. I'm sorry, Dean. I fell into your troll. But where I was going is her record in California was terrible. She had a terrible record.
Oh, don't say the names of any DRUGS. I don't know if you will, but just throwing that out there. But go ahead.
What's that?
Don't say the names of any DRUGS. I don't know.
Oh, I will not. I will not say that. But her record on homelessness there was terrible. That's when the whole, for example, San Francisco. Excuse me.
When she was the district attorney?
No. Yeah, that too. Well, that was
crime. Her record on homelessness when?
Her record on homelessness and crime was very bad.
District attorneys, they don't pass public policy to reduce homelessness. They enforce the law.
No, but that's right. They enforce the law. So there were a lot of homeless individuals.
Being homeless isn't illegal.
No, they weren't. It isn't. But she prosecuted a lot of homeless individuals, and instead of having them be rehabilitated off the streets, which is, if you're talking about public health and policy and public health, it doesn't sound like She was too concerned about their health or their mental health.
She actually was the first district attorney in America to launch a work program for first-time low-level DRUG offenders, offering them the ability to go into trade school instead of going to jail. But there's only so much that you could have done in this country as a DA 25 years ago with a raging war on drugs propagated by the Republican Party that the Democrats then attempted to end in 2018 with a bill that she actually co-signed her name onto that was then shot down by Trump and his Republicans, keeping in mind that was under his first admin. So I'd say that this point only negatively reflects on the Republicans and on the system in of itself compared to the one DA 25 years ago who tried to do the most she could have in her capacity.
So I bet you Kamala Harris probably approves for those people working 80 hours a month in order to stay on public assistance.
Okay, baseless conjecture and speculation surrounding a point irrelevant to the topic of discourse. And you're telling me that so I just want to clarify. You're saying the reason why Kamala Harris was worse than Trump is because she prosecuted homeless people when they committed crimes?
No, she had a job even as vice president. Her job was supposed to be to protect our border, and it didn't happen. So
what was her specific job?
Well, she was quote unquote the border czar.
But what was her job as this quote unquote border czar? What was she actually designated to do by Biden?
She was supposed to stop the illegal immigration of people into the United States.
So how so? How what was she supposed to do? She had a specific function, a specific role, a specific job. If you don't know what it is, just say so and I can tell you.
I don't know what you're referring to, so go ahead.
The specific job that Biden gave her was to work diplomatically with southern Latin American countries to make their countries economically better off, to disincentivize more immigration. And she was actually very effective at it. She reduced immigration from Guatemala upwards of 50% because of it.
Well, then how did illegal immigration across our southern border increase exponentially under her
because of the
watch?
expiration of Title 42, Donald Trump shooting down the bipartisan border bill, and the highest level of incentive for immigration to America in the last 100 years.
Okay. I will take that and put it in my cap and smoke it and be done with it on that one. But I think
I just still feel like I haven't heard you tell me anything, okay, that makes it clear Kamala Harris is worse than the adjudicated rapist, guy that boasted about sexual exploitation, refused to abide by a court order to feed 16 million starving American children, 10 million disabled American citizens, and then 30 million able-bodied American citizens that were low income. Nor have you been able to tell me anything that she's done that's worse than telling the military to draft a wartime invasion for one of her allies, or defending literal war crimes in violation of the Second Geneva Convention, an article out of the ACC in the South Caribbean, on top of about a billion other things, right? Like, you said, she prosecuted homeless people for the crimes that they committed when she was DA? I feel like this is just very clearly why you shouldn't support Trump and why she actually was the better option.
Okay. Well, Dean, I know there's other people probably want to talk to you, and I've had a really good conversation with you, made a lot of good points. I will consider some and look into some others.
Do you mind if I just ask you one last question, though? Before we end our conversation, just one more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at your son's profile.
Yep.
And it looks like your son's black, right?
He has. Looks like it. He's got dark skin. Yes.
Do you mind if I ask you? Are you black?
Partially.
Partially.
No.
Okay. Wait, what's that, AJ?
I don't look it.
No. No.
I look white. Yeah.
Okay, so AJ says that you're not black. You say that you're partially black. Okay, regardless.
No, he knows I am, but I don't look.
Like 15%.
I don't look it. At 30, it's 30%.
Okay, well, I don't have jurisdiction over who is and isn't black. That's not my ballpark as a white man. But what I wanted to bring up here is, okay, you are partially black. Your son's black. Donald Trump posted an image depicting the two most successful black people in this country's history as literal monkeys and apes, which is the most historically explicit and dangerous racial stereotype surrounding black people that has been parroted and propagated to uphold pro-segregationist rhetoric, slavery era cartoons, evangelist movements started in Europe to say that the white man was closer to perfection or divinity and the black man was closer to the beast of the wild, the dog that could be used as property on the farms, of course, once again propping up the transatlantic slave trade. Well, what does that do? How do you feel about that? Was that racist?
Yes. 100%. And whether it doesn't matter, there's no excuse. It's full stop. It was wrong. And there should have been an apology from the White House. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, but there wasn't, right?
Right.
Right.
So the question is, like, why you still
Why you still support him?
Yeah.
Well, I support him. I know it sounds preposterous probably to you, but I support his policies and his job that he's doing as president of the United States. I said from the beginning, I just like.
I said that I only had one more question for you because you kind of signaled that you want to leave. So if you want to leave now, feel free. I wish I could have a conversation with you about his job on the Epstein files, but it looks like that may have to wait for another day, huh?
Yeah, that would be good. Let's do it.
Do you have time right now?
I actually don't, Dean. I'm sorry. But thank you. I appreciate your time today.
Yeah. All right. Well, AJ, good to meet you, man. AJ's mother. You take care, y'all.
Appreciate it,
Move on
Dan.
to the next,
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Let's
Dan.
go to move on to the next guest. Woof, boy. Man. She reminds me a little bit like my own mom. But I don't even think my mom is that outspoken about her support for Trump anymore. She's honestly just kind of stopped talking about it, which I think is signaling something good. Hi, do you support Trump?
Why would we support Trump?
Well, I guess you'll never get to know because you're like 14 and you got to be at least 18 years old to join the live. So we're going to move on to the next guest. Here we go, folks. Holy cow, man, dude. I have a couple people to thank. Y'all were very, very, very kind to me when I was debating that guy's mom.
Hey, Dean for president, right?
Hey, man, I appreciate you. Mr. President Withers here. Welcome into the stream. Only join inside of the queue if you are a Trump supporter. Moving on to the next guest. Let's go to get that next Trump supporter loaded up into the box right now, guys. Only up inside of the queue if you are an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president and you're down to come up here and have a debate with me about why. I'd appreciate it if y'all would do your very best to follow those rules. Let's go and get that next guest, Ethan, loaded up into the box. You know, I like it. I like the first place that my mind goes when I'm trying to, like, mimic a president is Obama because he was
Hey,
like,
Mom, be quiet.
the best example of a president in my lifetime, a real president. Hi, welcome, man. Do you support Trump?
I do.
And how old are you?
I just turned 18. I'm in college.
Okay. What year were you born in?
2007.
What month?
In October. So yeah, I would have turned 18 in my first semester.
Okay. Well, I mean, because you say you're in college, it'll actually be pretty easy to fact check your age. How many credit hours are you doing per semester?
Right now I'm doing 8.
Okay. And is that a full-time student or part-time student?
I'm double major, so.
So you're in like an expedited program to get 2 majors and you're doing 8 credit hours per semester?
With like 1 per major.
Lie. Moving on to the next guest. No, you're fucking not, dude. You're a part-time student, at least in my state, starting at 12 credit hours. And you're doing 8? And you're a double major? Fuck no. I don't believe it. Fuck no. Moving on to the next guest, y'all. Only up inside of the queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president. Also, like, most people don't even have their majors declared in their freshman year. It's impossible, right? Just unlikely. Let's go and get that next guest loaded up into the box. We got John loaded in, folks. By the way, if you are watching and you're like, hey, I like this Dean guy and you want to support me, you can find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio on TikTok, pin message on YouTube, as well as in the pin, as well as the handle at the top of the phone screen. You could attach a message, and I'll do my very best to read it out. Thank you guys so much for all the love today. We're gonna try to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now. This guy's name is Dylan. Saying invite, man. It looks like you left that queue though. Moving on to the next guest, Eric. Here we go. Well, Eric, dude, holy shit. Eric turned around and left very quick, man. There are so many trolls in the queue and whatnot. So many, dude. Unreal, man. What's up, Andrew? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
All right, Andrew. It's a pleasure to meet you. Are you patient?
Yeah.
Do you mind if I just take a moment here to thank a couple of my donors before we hop into the debate?
Of course.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. I'd like to first thank Krista. Thank you for the $5 over on Venmo. Krista says women like this cannot admit their deep-seated internalized misogyny. They can't fathom a woman doing a man's job, right? Or what is considered a man's job. April, thank you so much for the $15 donation over on Venmo. I want to see 200 April W's down below in that comment section who says, did you hear as of February 12th, the Trump administration officially revoked the 2009 endangered finding, a foundational EPA regulation that classified greenhouse gases as a threat to public health. Yes, dude, I did see that. It's fucked, man. Nolan, thank you so much for the $20, who says, I had Medicaid while homeless. I had to get ID and SS card. The ACA got me off HDRUG and got rid of my hepatitis C. Well, I'm happy to hear that you're off those things. And yeah, you do have to prove your citizenship. Thank you so much for the $20, Nolan. Let's get 200 Nolan W's. And then 1,000 Mary W's. Mary. Oh my God. Thank you so much for the $100 donation over on Venmo, Mary. Thank you so very much for your kindness. That is insane. Dude, oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mary with $100 says, the reports from the docs I work with on the number of patients who can't afford their meds or even follow-up visits for chronic illness is disheartening. Plus, the government will pay more in ER visits for patients who cannot receive primary/follow-up care. You're right. Yeah, when you take people off health care, all of a sudden your bill goes up because now you have to spend more on what happens when that chronic illness develops and they're about to die, then they are rushed to the ER. So true, Mary. Thank you so much for the $100. Let's get 1,000 Mary W's. Thank you. Brent, thank you so much for the $15 who says donating to Resist MAGA Foundation. Thank you so much for the $15, Brent. Jalen, Elizabeth, and Christine, thank you all for the $5. Caitlin, thank you so much for the $10. Then April with the $10 for stealing money from that guest earlier who accused me of stealing y'all's money, which was weird. Over on Super Chat, S, thank you for the $20 who says, hey, Dean, I do not understand when people say they support Trump for what he's doing when all he does is crash out in front of the TV, cheats on the golf course, and shits his pants, literally. I know, right? Like, what he's doing is terrible. They're like, oh, I support what he's doing. Yeah, destroying the goddamn country. Thank you for the $20. Same thing to you, Sugar. Sugar, thank you so much for the $50 over on Super Chat. I appreciate you so much for that love. Let's show some love to Sugar down below for the 50, bro. That is crazy. Thank you so much, Sugar. Sugar with a 50 says, I was in a convo about Kristi Noem today, and it made me think of this ridiculous line I once used that said her face was held up by silly string and duct tape. Thought you'd enjoy that, Dean. Love from a fellow web dev/app dev. Well, I appreciate you so much for the, for the $50. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up in here. All right, where are they at? And last guest left. Welcome in, JJ. Do you support Trump?
No, but my mom does.
Okay, is she with you right now?
No, but
when you happen to be with her, feel free to hop back inside of that queue, man. I'll talk to her. It's going to move on to the next guest, Mike. We still have a couple other people to thank. I just noticed that guest left, so I went back to focusing on that. Holy fuck, you guys. Dude. Give me 1 second. Jenna and Camp. You all are crazy. Thank you. Welcome in, Mike. Do you support Trump?
Blinker checkpoint, y'all. Blinker checkpoint.
As a child. Dude. Jenna and Camp. Dude. This is over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you both for the $100 Super Chats. Dude, both of y'all, Jenna and Camp, you guys have both been watching the streams for so long now. Like, genuinely, both of y'all's names are just, like, ingrained in my brain because of how much y'all have been supporting me and how long y'all have been watching. Okay? And I'm saying this both to you, Jenna and Camp. Thank y'all both so much for the continued love and support.
Oh, wow.
Just know that I appreciate the hell out of you guys. Show some love to Jenna and Camp down below for the $100. And I'll read y'all's messages right now. Jenna says, Dean, stop brainwashing me. You must have sent that through earlier when you had the crazy guest saying that I was brainwashing people into donating. Then Camp with $100 says, I'm so sick of these callers saying, quote unquote, it's not important what he says, but what he does, as if they somehow exist independent of one another. His words are testing the waters for his actions. Simple as that. No punishment for saying it's permitting him to do it. Right, Camp? Like, no, those two things are like necessarily and essentially intertwined with one another. Okay, you don't have his actions without his words, and you don't have his words without his actions in one way or another. Okay, his words are always doing something. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 18. I turned 18 in December.
Okay, what year were you born in?
2007.
Sounds good. You're right. I have 4 people to thank on PayPal. Then I'll pass you the mic. Jessica, thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Caroline, thank you so much for the $15. Show some love to Caroline down below. Katie, thank you so much for the $10. You shout out to Caroline and Katie. And then Zachary, thank you so much for the $20. Who says the personality of a politician absolutely matters when it comes to their policy. If a person lacks sympathy, then they're less likely to care about the average American. I don't know how maggots don't understand that. No, Zachary, that's what we talk about every single day on live stream. Okay, the position of the presidency is a role of public service, not of self-service. When you have somebody who's incapable of empathy, very apathetic, they're not going to be able to pass policy that is in the public interest, but only in theirs. Thank you for the $20. And then one more here, Alyssa. Thank you so much for the $10. She says, I truly love your videos. Oh, thank you so much, Alyssa. Melissa, as well as I just read the rest of your message, man. I hope that you're all right, at least doing your best. Go ahead and take it away. Tell us why you support the worst president of your 18 years of life, Mr. Authoritarian, crazy man Trump.
Whoa, authority. Okay. So pretty much, I just want to say, I think he's amazing for the economy, right? We've seen a crazy increase in hiring, right? The jobs growth is crazy, right?
That's a lie.
No, 100%. Jobs growth is great. Fact check me.
Bureau of Labor Statistics already did. Bureau of Labor Statistics says that we added 100,000, a little bit under 200,000 jobs to the economy last year. The worst job report on record since 2003 if we ignore recessions.
Well, okay, but you have to also consider the housing market. The housing market's amazing right now.
Well, you're pivoting. One second. You said that the job market was amazing. Okay, before we talk about the housing market, can you concede that the job market is not amazing? And in fact, it's the worst it has been in your lifetime if we ignore recessions.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
So then why did you say the job market was amazing if you just know that's false?
Well, I didn't know you were going to fact check me, but...
So one thing that you just came up here to like say that, like not expecting me to like know enough to correct you.
No, I get it. All right, but
so you were intentionally stating things that are false in the furtherance of the MAGA worldview.
So here's the thing, though, is I just think his economic policy. We are very close. He's got great relations with China. I think we're close to a communist Trump. All right, and that could be great. Okay. So I'm just saying.
Honestly, I would believe him if he wasn't trolling about that first part. Like, oh, I didn't know that you're going to fact check me. Just because, like, dude, that is totally something that I could legitimately see a guest saying. Because it's something that I think a lot of guests do. No, he's totally trolling. All right, let's go to move on to the next guest. What's up? Do you support Trump? Cascade, you got 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Banned. Moving on to the next guest right now. Who will it be? We got Mr. Breadwinner loading up into the box. And, dude, yeah, hey, Caroline, this just came through. Thank you for the $5 over at Venmo. To support. Banned. That was a little fetus. Moving on to the next guest. We got Tanner loading up in. And Morgan, thank you so much for the $24 over on Venmo. Who says, hey, Dean, I really struggled with mental health, but ever since I started watching your lives, I felt so much less lonely and happy. I feel like it'd be like knowing the inside jokes, and I thank you so much for everything that you do, and I love watching your lives. Thank you so much. Morgan, listen, I'm so fucking happy that the live streams are able to make you feel a little bit more happy. I hear that from a lot of people, and I love it. I love to hear that. I love to know that these live streams inspire positivity amongst some of the viewers, considering just how negative some of the guests can get. But thank you for sharing that with me. Show some love to Morgan down below. Welcome in, Tanner. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do. Kind of similar to, I am 27.
Okay, all right. Taking it away. Why do you support the worst president of your life?
Well, I mean, I've definitely backed off a little bit with my support in him. I'm rating him on his job rather than what he's done as a person in the past, falsifying business records. Obviously, horrible things he said, about women and. But I mean, I had a couple questions for you actually about like what was in the previous conversation. So, in terms of you saying, there were 40 to 60,000 Americans that die without proper health care. Is that what you said? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, because of lack of access.
Is that annually?
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't we focus, and this is bipartisan both ways, focus on getting American citizens health care to negate this kind of problem, but we also at the same time are offering illegals free health care. And I know, did Medi-Cal just recently end? Is that what you said earlier? How I didn't know that. How recent was this?
I think in the last year.
Well, because I saw in 2025 that 1.7 million undocumented immigrants were benefiting in receiving health care from Medi-Cal.
Okay, then it probably ended at some point in 2025 after that report was made.
Okay, but I mean, the 40 to 60,000, that wasn't just 1 year. I mean, it was kind of, I'm assuming I don't know if it's grown, if it's gone down, but obviously it's been an issue.
51,000 Americans per year.
Yeah, so I think that we should focus on those people instead of prioritizing, healthcare for illegal immigrants. But at the end of the day,
I don't know why you're trying to
decency.
present this. I don't understand why you're trying to present this dichotomy to me. I think that the first thing that we should focus on in this conversation is that if you think that we should focus on expanding healthcare to prevent 51,000 Americans dying per year, then you shouldn't support Trump because he's doing the opposite. Simple.
Well, I think there were a lot of able-bodied people that just weren't willing to work that were benefiting from the Medicaid, and I understand a lot of people.
I think that able-bodied people who don't work should be able to benefit from essential social programs.
Okay, I mean, I just disagree with that. I mean,
okay, should able-bodied Americans that don't work be able to benefit from calling the cops?
Well, I heard this argument already, but I think there's two different scenarios.
Should they?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Should able-bodied Americans that don't work be able to benefit from the cops?
From public service, yeah.
Okay, so able-bodied Americans that don't work should be able to benefit from essential public services, right?
For healthcare, I mean, I guess.
No, just for essential public services. Yes or no?
Yeah, I don't think anyone should be really stripped away from it at the end of the day, but
okay. So if a public service is essential to somebody, then they should have access to it. Okay, which would mean the low-income Americans who healthcare is essential to, particularly Medicaid, should have access to it regardless if they do or they don't work. Not to mention that there's also been millions of Americans that have had their access to Medicaid taken away, not because they're not working, but because they don't make enough money and can no longer afford these skyrocketing premiums that we see to be true after, that ACA subsidy expired, and now people are going from paying $500 a month in premiums to $3,000.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm not saying I fully support it. I'm just saying there needs to be, the healthcare plan obviously needs to be reworked in a bipartisan way.
Okay, but Donald Trump is just making it worse. So why do you support Trump? Because he, so far, everything that you've said that's important to you, he's just been making it worse.
No, that's fair. I mean, I'm not as well versed in healthcare as you, but I just wanted to bring that point up to get an answer from you because I heard you say it. But
so why do you support Trump?
I think obviously the economy, and then a big thing is the one big beautiful bill. I think
the thing that took the healthcare away that you think is bad.
Yeah, well, not obviously it's not an A+. Obviously, you were grading it earlier. It's not an A+. But I think one thing that even lower income Americans and middle class Americans have struggled with is to get ahead in retirement. And I think a Trump account is a fantastic idea to get children ahead for retirement. And I don't see how that's a bad thing.
$1,000 to each kid. I agree. That's not a bad thing. But what would have been better is Kamala Harris being president, because it is a case that she wanted to give, what was it? $6,000 to each kid for the first year of their life, $5,000 to each kid for the second through fifth year of their life, and then $3,000 to each kid for the fourth through 17th year of their life via the expansions to the child tax credit. Okay, and then when they're all grown up and they're 18, and maybe the housing market is better, so people are starting to buy houses again at like 2025, then they'd get $25,000 off of their first house.
Right, and I think that's also I think the $25,000 was a bad idea because it's just going to increase competition. It's going to have more people going out to buy a house with that.
That's what we wanted to happen. That was the point of it.
But we don't have enough houses.
Which is exactly the point of it. Because then we're increasing demand for housing, which then incentivizes builders to build more houses. That was the point.
Right, and I mean, I think both administrations, the Harris and Trump administration, have kind of failed in terms of building new homes. And
but that was a plan to build 2 to 4 million new homes by the end of her presidential administration. Donald Trump, on the other hand, Donald Trump, on the other hand, doesn't want the price of homes to go down. He doesn't want any new homes.
Well, I think I disagree about new homes. I think he was talking about ownership, because when you buy a house, you don't own your house until you pay your mortgage off. So for people to work hard for 30, 40 years,
70-year mortgages.
No, that's a horrible idea, because some people could pass away. That was a horrible idea. Again, I'm not...
Right, so he said that he wants to make houses more expensive, and then he wants to impose 70-year mortgages.
No, he said he wanted to keep the pricing up for owners. And I think what that means is people who have worked hard to pay a mortgage of 30 or 40 years deserves to retain the value and get every penny. Like if a
But
house
that
is
just means that the
$700,000,
price of houses goes up, which means that people who want to buy houses have less luck because housing is less affordable. We should value people with less assets, with lower net worths, with less money, over people with more assets, a higher net worth, more money. We should definitely.
But it's not their fault.
We should definitely be attempting to adjust the housing market for the buyer compared to the owner. We need the pricing of houses to go down because they're so astronomically high.
I understand. I think it's more of an interest rate issue.
Interest rates are slowing at lower rates today under the Trump administration compared to what they were under the Biden-Harris administration because Donald Trump's policy has led Jerome Powell to believe that we need to cut rates at lower rates.
Can I finish my point about home ownership?
Dude, I think it's important. This is just so annoying.
It's important to understand. It's important to understand that if someone pays off their mortgage and they fully own their house, it's not their fault if the value of their home rises 100% in 2 years. So they're supposed to just give that back because someone that wants to buy a house, it's unaffordable if they put their house on the market. Like, I just think that's wrong.
Okay, but see, the thing is that reality isn't fair, and we need to value buyers compared to owners because houses are too expensive. We need to reduce the pricing of houses. Can you agree? Can you agree that we need to reduce the pricing of houses because of how unattainable and unaffordable housing is?
On new construction mainly, but
you don't get it one way but not the other, because we have to look at and observe the overall supply of houses, which would include houses that are newly constructed and houses that were constructed 20 years ago that are currently being owned by mom and pop that is now on the market because they want to sell it.
I understand. It's just, what is your solution to mom and pop who paid a 30 or a 40-year mortgage off and their house is worth $750,000 when it's normally probably a $500,000 house? Just
make it
because
worth
the market
$500,000 and make houses less expensive.
But if you just said about reality, it's like the reality sucks.
I'd prefer mom and pop to get a little screwed compared to the new generation with no money that wants to go and get houses. Okay, I care more about the average American that is living paycheck to paycheck. That is paying astronomically high rent, can barely afford it. Than the boomers that already have a little bit of a cushion to sit on that are owning the homes. I care significantly more about the renters paying astronomically high prices, putting them into debt, restricting them to 60-hour work weeks, even 60-hour work weeks, even when they have 3 kids at home, compared to mom and pop sitting on that $750,000 house. Not to mention, that there's no realized loss of mom and pop, because when they bought that house that is now valued at $750,000, they probably got it for $60,000 in the 70s.
Right,
compared to the realized loss that is experienced, I'm not saying it's their fault. Compared to the realized loss that it is experienced, by first-time young home buyers living paycheck to paycheck, that can't find a fucking 2-bedroom house to rent even with their children because of how expensive houses are. Like, I just think that you ultimately have your priorities all out of whack, and you're saying that houses need to be more expensive and the average American needs to be more fucked.
No, I don't think that. I'm all for the middle class, and I'll get into that going back to the child tax credit and the Trump account.
Dude, if you think that Trump is good for the economy, then you're very obviously not for the middle class.
Well,
the middle class is being killed
the
right
child
now.
tax credit.
Yeah, by smaller expansions than what Kamala Harris ran on. Thank you. 2 times smaller expansions.
But he increased it twice in both of his admins.
Well, I mean, actually, no, the last time the child tax credit was increased was under the Biden-Harris administration after the TCGA, and that doesn't matter because Kamala Harris wanted to run on higher increases. You're literally trying to argue that Trump is good for the economy because he has economic policy that is worse than Kamala Harris's. You idiot.
No, that's not true.
You're saying that you think he's good for the economy because of his $3,000 tax credit, and you take him over Kamala Harris regardless of her $6,000 child tax credit.
Okay, she didn't win, so it didn't happen. $3,000
because you voted for. You want $3,000 over $6,000. That is stupid. Wait. I have a
No,
question.
you can
What number is
benefit-
higher?
You can benefit from
I have
either-
a question.
from any president.
What number is
regardless
higher?
if you like them or not.
What number is higher?
6,000, but she's not in office,
What number
so
is
that's not
higher?
the number that we're
One
going to
second.
benefit from.
What number is higher?
6,000 is higher.
Hey,
6,000
buddy,
is
shut
higher.
up. Buddy, what number is higher? 6,000 or 3,000?
6,000 is higher.
Okay, so what is the opportunity cost of taking $3,000 over $6,000?
There's no opportunity cost. That's not the point. She's not in office.
Wait, there's
so
no
that
opportunity
didn't
cost?
happen.
Wait, I have a question. What's opportunity cost?
Well, you're obviously talking about doubling the proposal that Trump put out. I'm not here to debate all about economic Kamala Harris's economic policy. If anything, she was terrible as vice president.
One second. What is opportunity cost? Because you said that there's no opportunity cost to Trump's presidency compared to what Kamala Harris ran on.
In what context do you mean opportunity cost?
There's only one context of opportunity costs.
I don't really understand what you're asking. Are you asking me to define it? Like,
yes,
literally?
Yeah, yes. I'm literally
like.
I'll just tell you. Opportunity cost is the loss of potential gain over the alternatives.
Of the two, it's the better option of something.
No, that's also not true. It is the loss of potential gain from alternatives when one alternative is chosen. Okay? So when I asked you, what's the opportunity cost between Kamala Harris's $6,000 child tax credit and Trump's $3,000 tax credit, the answer would be $3,000. Okay? Because you're losing a better alternative by picking Trump as president, and then you're attempting to use his worse alternative in respect to the other alternative as a reason why you support him as president.
Yeah, I support border control over over the child tax credit 100%. I don't think
what fucking border control.
I support border security. I support reducing illegal immigration. I support ICE.
What border security has Donald Trump implemented in the last year and a month?
Go look at the border crossings at the southern border. Go look at the
significantly lower.
Yeah, they are significantly lower because
now answer the question. What border security
manned
is
up
he
on the border.
Okay, well, like how? Like what border security?
Sending more troops, sending more people down there guarding the actual southern border.
When?
And then
when did he do that? How many troops and where?
I don't know how many troops, but I know there was more work at the southern border.
Yeah,
I don't have the number off the top of my head.
Through what memorandum? Through what EO? What's the source?
I don't have the exact number off the top of my head.
Okay, then what's the source that this happened?
Can I get my point out? You just keep asking me questions. Like I'm trying to tell you why.
The reason why I'm asking you this question is because of this point. No, we do not have less undocumented border crossings because Donald Trump has implemented good long-term proactive border security. We have less border crossings because Donald Trump has been playing fucking dictatorial fascists, like supporting the murder of citizens, illegal deportation of legal immigrants, illegal deportation of undocumented immigrants with irrespect to their right to due process, where they're then tortured and beaten in El Salvador, detaining 5-year-old citizens, causing them to throw up, get sick and ill, giving ICE illegal directives to arrest people without judicial warrants, and permitting them to racially profile people because of the color of their skin or the accent in which they speak English in. These are the
do you support
that have
illegal immigration?
reduced undocumented immigration into this country. And because these things, are in violation of federal law, these things are in violation of the Constitution, and these things are in violation of human rights, you should not support the outcome of less undocumented immigration into this country because these things caused it.
So do you support illegal immigration then?
Why are you not responding to my argument?
Because that is my response.
Yeah, so therefore I support undocumented.
Listen, you're doing the same thing.
Let me clarify why that's a bad takeaway. Let me clarify why that's a bad takeaway. You're trying to tell me that I support illegal immigration into America because I don't support reducing illegal immigration into America by violating the Constitution and human rights. This is like saying if I were a CEO of a company and I fired one of my bosses, that was killing employees to increase worker productivity by killing the least productive worker at the end of every month, that I support less productive workers because I fired the boss that was killing workers to increase productivity. No, clearly, in the hypothetical, I would support more worker productivity. I just don't support using gravely immoral means to achieve more worker productivity. The same way I do support less undocumented immigration into America by expanding the legal means, but I don't support reducing undocumented immigration into America with use of gravely immoral means of abusing human rights, of torturing people, of racial profiling, of defending the murder of citizens, of the illegal deportations of people, irrespective of their Fifth Amendment rights, so on and so forth.
Yeah, I mean, I totally understand where you're coming from, and I think ICE could definitely be a little bit more gentle. I still support what they're doing. I think...
Wait, why do you support them violating human rights? Why do you support them ignoring the Constitution? Why do you support them executing upon illegal orders? Why do you support them racially profiling people? Why do you support them murdering citizens, literally executioner style in the back of the neck? And
illegal immigrants murder citizens too, Lake and Riley. Jocelyn,
okay, then what happened to her murderer?
What?
What happened to her murderer?
He was prosecuted.
And went to jail for fucking life. If Biden gave him a full and complete presidential pardon and let him walk free, would any reasonable sane American stop supporting his president?
How many times was he arrested before that?
No, don't pivot. Answer my question. If Biden gave Laken Riley's murderer a full and complete presidential pardon and called him a patriot, would any reasonable American stop supporting Biden as president?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so because the Trump administration is defending the murderer of, I don't know, Alex Preddy, any reasonable American would stop supporting Trump as president too, then, right?
I mean, no, I think that his...
What? So in one scenario, if Biden defends a murderer, anybody would stop supporting Biden. But in another scenario, if Trump defends a murderer, nobody should stop supporting Trump. How's that not a clear as broad daylight contradiction?
I think it was because it was a snap reaction where the guy saw a gun, where this man had the intent of murdering Laken Riley. Sorry for using that word.
Oh, no, this guy had the intent to murder, because intent to kill is always presupposed when you pull out a gun, shoot it, and then shoot somebody with it 12 times.
But the person that he shot was armed.
Yeah, that doesn't change anything.
One guy is armed.
14th Amendment, not to mention SCOTUS case law like Connor v. Graham that
Well, there's
explicitly
a
adjudicated
physical
that LEOs are not
altercation,
justified in the use of deadly force. Okay, again, somebody merely for being in possession of a firearm. Not to mention he actually wasn't armed at the time he had that clip emptied into him because it was taken by another ICE agent 2 seconds before.
It was. I saw that, and but that's why I said it was a bad reaction by that agent.
No, it's not about. It's not merely about a reaction because you can't kill somebody for merely being in possession of a firearm.
Okay, regardless, I understand ICE is, like I said, they can be more gentle, and I understand where you're going.
No. The point is that you said if Biden defended a murderer, any reasonable American would stop supporting Biden. But if Trump defended a murderer, you wouldn't stop supporting Trump. Do you agree that the ICE agent who killed Alex Preddy is a murderer?
Yeah.
Okay, then you accept that Trump and his administration are defending a murderer.
Well, they're going to prosecute. They're going to do an investigation and follow the legal procedure. So,
well, I mean, Kristi Noem already said that he was acting in accordance with DHS guidelines and that Alex Preddy was a domestic terrorist. Stephen Miller, Donald Trump's lead policy advisor, said that he was a trained assassin there to cause maximum carnage and damage. Donald Trump said that he was a gunman. J.D. Vance reposted Stephen Miller's post calling him a trained assassin. And Donald Trump said that we always have to stand with the ICE agents no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's the same thing. It's like back in the police. Obviously, there's a few bad eggs, and it's unfortunate and it's sad.
So do you accept that the Trump administration is defending murderer?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm still saying I'm going to stand with.
Wait. So just to clarify, just to clarify, you
even if there's a few bad eggs,
that the Trump administration is defending murder.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? You broke up a little bit.
Is the Trump administration defending murder?
Are they defending murder? If nothing happens out of this, if there's no criminal prosecution, then yeah, they are.
Okay, so far they're like with everything that we know so far, they're defending murder, right?
Because are you saying because the guy's not in handcuffs and being prosecuted yet? Is that what
He's
you're
still on the fucking job?
What job? I'm talking about. Is it because he has not been arrested yet?
Because he's literally still working as an ICE agent, okay? Because DHS said that he's acting in accordance with DHS guidelines, because our administration has labeled Alex Preddy as a domestic terrorist who got what he deserved, because they said we always got to stand with the ICE agents. So do you accept that the Trump administration is defending murder?
I wouldn't call it defending murder, but they should prosecute, but I wouldn't call it defending murder. Someone died,
but you already
there needs to be a proper investigation.
Wait, do you accept that Alex Preddy was murdered?
Yeah, I've said that twice.
Okay, do you accept that the Trump administration is defending it?
I mean, not really. No, I don't.
Okay, so if my friend killed your brother, and then I came out and said that your brother was a domestic terrorist, your brother was a trained assassin who wanted to kill my friend, and my friend did nothing wrong and was acting in accordance with the law, would I be defending the murder of your brother?
I think one thing that you're mixing up here is.
Can you tell me, would I be defending the murder of your brother?
No, you wouldn't be defending the murder of my brother.
So my friend just walked up to your brother. Your brother's chilling. My friend beats him to the ground on all four, pepper sprays him, pistol whips him, then unloads a clip into him, and then I respond by saying, you know what, your brother was a fucking domestic terrorist. Your brother was a trained assassin, and my friend was absolutely justified in killing him. Did nothing wrong, nothing illegal. I wouldn't be defending the murder of your brother. You're insane. Like, bro, the MAGA cult has never been crazier. The MAGA cult has never been crazier, right? Think about how insane this is, everybody. This is why it's so hard for us to find Trump supporters on this live stream to have debates with us. It's because the Trump supporters that are left don't have brains. They don't have rational thought. They don't have cognitive
You're not
capacities.
letting me talk at all. You're not letting me talk.
Please explain your way out of this.
Illegal. Couple things I want to talk about. Illegal immigration definitely sets up families for failure because
we're not talking about illegal immigration. We're talking about your counterclaim to the fact that the Trump administration is defending murder.
About ICE and illegal immigration.
No, we're talking about. I want your counterclaim to the fact that the Trump administration is defending murder.
Well, I don't have enough evidence on me to argue it, so I'll concede the argument then.
Okay, so then you don't support Trump.
I've started off this whole live saying I've backed off on my support of him.
Okay,
the things I do
support. I just want to clarify that overall you're no longer a supporter of him, though, right?
I wouldn't say I'm not 100%. It's probably about 40-50% now. I hate all things the support that he's given to Israel. I hate
guys. If there's evidence of what you're saying in the chat, drop it in the private ticket on the Discord, bro. But just to clarify, overall you don't support him as president.
What the hell are they saying? Are you kidding me?
Well, there's evidence.
See, this is what's wrong with. I'm trying to have a calm and good conversation, and then your people are saying that I'm following teens. Just
focus on me. Just focus on me.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Like, I'm sorry, but I think that, like I was saying, I want to go back to, no, I don't. I'm about 40%. I don't support what he did with Israel. He needs to.
But knowing everything now, if you were teleported back to November of 2024, would you still vote for Trump?
It would be tough, but the reason I would say yes is because the Democrats didn't have a primary. I would have.
You a registered Democrat?
No.
Okay, so even if they did have a primary, you wouldn't have been able to vote in it. Crazy.
I understand, but you can change your party affiliation.
Fucking crazy. Okay, but you very obviously wouldn't have changed your party affiliation to vote in the Democratic primary. What are we doing?
No, I think if RFK Jr., which I don't really support him now, but at the time a year ago.
Moving on to the next guess. Sorry, that guy, dude, crazy work, man. Dude, his argument was literally like, oh, I support, like the worst president of my life because the Democrats didn't have this thing that I wouldn't have been able to engage in anyways. Welcome in, Premium Black Godfather. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
How old are you?
40.
Are you driving?
Maybe.
Can't be driving on TikTok. You want to pull over or should I move on to the next guess?
I mean, I can pull over. You just got to give me a second.
Yeah, for man. I'm going to put you on mute while you're doing that. In the meantime, I'm going to thank a couple people. Pamela, thank you so much for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat. Pamela didn't attach a message to the love. Just sent that down. I appreciate you so much. Show some love to Pamela down below. Also, show some love to Brittany down below in that comment section. Thank you for the $5. Calvin, thank you for the $2. And that's all over on Venmo. We're all caught up over there. What about PayPal? Here we go. Oh, excuse me. Darren, that is DERREN. Thank you so much for the $10 donation over on PayPal. He says, "Hey, Dean, been watching your show now for 6 months, and now I don't miss an episode. Thank you for putting up with all these brainless fools. P.S. How come you don't ask for more likes on YouTube to spread your videos more?" I should do that, bro. Like the YouTube stream if you're watching over there. I'd also like to thank Sophie. Thank you so much for the $10 on PayPal. Show some love to Sophie down below. Landon, appreciate you so much for the $5, saying that Dow is under 50K. I know, right? The world's ending, dude. And we're all caught up. If you're watching and you're like, hey, I like this Dean guy, you like what I do, you want to support me, you could find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio on the TikTok account. It's also at the top of that phone screen. It's also in the pinned message over on YouTube. Sorry, I just sent you an invite to mute. Let's see if he's pulled over yet.
I can't right now because I'm kind of like stuck in traffic right now, so I can actually talk and focus on everything that I'm doing. So I'm good there.
It's just TikTok.
I just can't get off the exit right now.
You just want to hop back.
I mean, they're not going to see nothing because nothing's on camera. You get what I'm saying? So actually, we should be good.
Well, just because I know I got to enforce it. Do you just want to hop back inside of the queue when you're not driving?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
I'll be on the lookout for you. Moving on to the next guest right now. Only up inside of the queue of your MAGA. I'd really appreciate it so much if you could abide by our rules, please, and thank you. Moving on to the next guest right now, we got Texas Wood loading up into the box. Is this guy real or is this a troll? Hello?
Hello.
Hi, Texas Wood.
What up, dog?
Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Are you driving your big rig right now?
No, I am not. I'm actually pulled over. We've tried this a couple of times, and
you're on your
one
30?
time. No, I'm not on my 30. I'm here in Santa Monica, wonderful California, doing a little delivery, but I have nothing but time right now.
Would you mind disconnecting me from your car's Bluetooth? I can just like hear myself twice.
All right, here you go. Hold on.
Come on now, a little BPM. Can't go wrong there.
Okay. All right, Texas Wood. You know, why don't you take it away and tell me why, as a real American patriot, you support Trump as president? Let's hear it.
There's many reasons. Now, I know you're a smart guy and very educated and all that good stuff. I get all that. I am definitely not educated book-wise or politic-wise or any of the other stuff-wise, but I am educated in what happens to me and what I see and what I deal with every day. I've been shot at. I've been stabbed. I just got egged the other day because I fly a Trump flag. And yet, they do it all behind my back.
Not the shot at and the stab part, but the egg part. That's based.
Yeah, and I just got keyed in the mall the other day. And, you know, I've got insurance. I'm not too worried about it. But it's just the other side that I don't agree with can do whatever. And, I mean, I've literally been banned from TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff because I had Trump 2020 on my truck. I fly a Trump flag every day. I'm flying one right now as we speak.
You should probably take that shit down, bro.
No. That's where the difference comes in. Now, y'all can say whatever you want and do all your statistics and all that other good stuff, but I live out here in the reality of the world. I'm not, I'm a super nice guy. And just to let you know where I come from and where I'm at, I don't give a shit what color you are or what country you come from. What if you want to cut your penis off and act like a cat for the day, you can do whatever you want. Whatever you guys want to do is fine.
Yeah.
I really don't care. If you're a good person, you're a good person. That's what it all boils down to. And if we can't all come together, like we're actually talking nice right now, you haven't started really getting on me yet, but
like a cat.
But I'm just telling you, it's all about we've got to come together. None of this is going to change unless we stop all this stupidness.
Right, like the stupidness from the Trump administration, right?
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about right there. I think a ton of shit you guys do on your side is stupid also, but I don't go and egg and shoot and threaten. Like when I had a viral video go out when I went to a Black Lives Matter parade.
We literally had a MAGA neo-Nazi shoot up a hockey rink yesterday. Okay, it's not like the violence is one way. Okay, and here's what I'd say.
I'm not saying it's one way, but what I'm saying is
here's what I'd say. I think that there's going to be violent people on the right and the left because the right and the left are comprised of hundreds of millions of people. Inevitably, you're going to have violent people on both sides. But my point is, I think that we see significantly more systemic violence from the right. Because not only is Donald Trump like that crazy man that's shouting that his political opponent should be executed, but he's doing so as the president of the United States of America. Over here talking about getting keyed. Yeah, the president said he hopes Democrats in Congress get publicly executed.
Okay. And I've seen many left. Donald Trump should die. Let's bomb him.
Point
big
towards
movie
one in
stars
public
and-
office.
I'm just saying.
Point towards one in public office.
Oh, there's a bunch.
Name one.
Oh God. What's the black lady, the older black lady's name?
Are you talking about Ilhan Omar?
No. The old one. I forget her damn name. I can't remember some of my kids' names, so don't get on me about that.
Jasmine Crockett's not old.
No. She's in the Senate. The older black lady. Get out there, riot, loot. If you see a Trump supporter, get on them. Just there's multiple videos of that from multiple different people in Congress, in the government, in whatever you want to call it, in political positions.
Bro, wait, you're saying that we had a Democrat in Congress telling people to go out there and riot and loot?
Oh yeah, there's many videos and stuff.
Where can I find
Many
this?
videos.
Where can I find this?
All over. It was mainly back in 2020 and all that kind of stuff. I haven't seen it much lately.
Wait.
It's an older black lady, literally.
Are you talking
on
about
the
Maxine
news.
Waters?
Yeah, I think that's her name. Older black lady. She's pretty old. She's pretty wrinkled and old. I don't remember exact name. I apologize.
Like Trump?
Yeah, he's old. Yeah, he's
very
old,
very
wrinkly.
wrinkled and old.
Yeah, he's not young and yeah, obviously.
Okay, I'm looking for what you're telling me about, but I can't find it.
I'm telling you, it's there. I whatever it takes. I mean, I'm not a researcher and all that other stuff.
So what I found was actually Snopes.com doing a fact check. Did Maxine Waters condone violence, looting during 1992 LA riots? Dude, 1992. And they say that the statement is false.
It's like in the 20s.
And then
There's like that
here's what it says. Here's what it says. In public statements during civil unrest in LA in 1992, Waters said she understood the pain and anger that drove members of the community to riot in the face of racial injustice, while also urging calm and speaking out against violence and looting. Bro, dude, you're literally taking a black woman's word from 1992 out of context when she said she understood the anger that drove members in the community to riot in the face of racial injustice while urging calm and speaking out against violence and looting. So just to clarify here, you're saying that you don't care Donald Trump, okay, called for the execution of Democrats in Congress 2 months ago. You don't care that Donald Trump caused the insurrection upon the American government and then pardoned the 174 people that raided the government, tried to kill cops in the process, then were found guilty of those violent crimes. You don't care that Donald Trump says that he hates his enemies, hates Democrats. You don't care that Donald Trump has been weaponizing the DOJ to attack Democrats. Before his second term begun, the DOJ had a 99.5% conviction rate. Now it only has a 66 conviction rate because they're making baseless. They're starting baseless investigations. Simply based upon Donald Trump's word of mouth and what he wants compared to what is actually true. Because Maxine Waters says that she understands why people are mad about racial injustice in the 90s. Like, come on, bro. That's just such an insane take. Like, oh, but no, Maxine Waters in the 90s? Like, bro, actually engage with the content.
I didn't say anything about the 90s.
I swear to God, that's what Maxine Waters said, what she said in the 90s. If Biden called for the execution of Republicans in Congress, America would rise up and he'd be thrown out of office. But instead, as Donald Trump does it, you just very conveniently ignore it, then turn around and say that the Democrats are the violent ones. It's so annoying.
Didn't say any of that. Please don't put words in my mouth. I'm not that guy. I promise you.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
Not that guy. I go by what I see and what I live. I don't go by politics and statistics and all this other stuff. I go by reality.
You don't go by statistics?
I'm telling. I don't search into it and do all that stuff like you guys do.
You don't do research?
Okay? No.
So I just want to clarify. You support Trump because you don't do research.
I didn't say that.
I mean, it sounds like
I'm telling you. I don't do all the research and all the statistics and all.
Do you
the
think
stuff
that plays into
do.
why you support Trump?
I support Trump. First reason I supported Trump was because
Can
he
you
wasn't
answer my
a
question
politician.
though? Can you please tell us?
Huh?
The fact that you don't do research, does that play into why you support Trump?
No.
Then why did you bring it up? What was the relevance?
Because I'm telling you that I don't like you just did the research on Maxine Waters or whatever, but you did it in 1990, whatever it was. This was more in the 2020s. It was right when the election and all that stuff was. There's been multiple Congress people, multiple governors.
I haven't seen any evidence of it. So just tell us.
I'm
why do you
just
support Trump?
telling you it's there.
Just be specific. What is the argument? Why is Trump a good president?
If you really wanted to find it, you would, and you know you would, because you're that good. You've got that gift to do that thing.
What I found.
And
Just
why
tell us,
I
be
support
specific.
President, I'm telling you why I initially supported him is because he wasn't a politician. He was already a billionaire. You couldn't buy the guy. You don't need to because he doesn't need the money. So that's why I believed him. I've never voted before in my life before 2020. That was the first time I ever voted. Because I don't believe in politics and I don't believe in the government, and it's just the taxes and all the other crap that go along with it on either side are terrible.
Okay.
And all the bullshit that goes along with it, with all the fighting and all the crap.
Yeah.
Just because you believe in Biden, you believe in what you believe, I think you're a great guy. I have no reason. You're a little rude and a little, a little too much for some people. You get on them just because they're maybe not as smart as you or don't have the whatever that you got. I don't agree with that about you, but I guarantee you, if we met somewhere and I didn't have a Trump shirt on and I have a Trump flag on, I guarantee you we'd get along. Even if you had a Biden shirt on or anything.
Right.
You know
So
what I
just
mean?
to clarify,
That's
your
what I'm
argument
trying
is
to
that you
stand.
support Trump as president because he's a billionaire.
No, that's not it. I said that's the reason I liked him at first. I don't agree with everything he does. I don't agree with, if that's true, that he said that we should execute whoever. No. The only people that should be executed.
Hey, Texas?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to determine why you support Trump as president today.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I was getting a phone call. One more time.
Trying to figure out why you support Trump as president today.
Because I believe he's going to put America first and Americans. That's what I believe and that's what I want.
Why do you believe that?
Because of what's happening and what he's doing with the deportation, what he's doing with whatever it takes. And all that deportation, it sucks for the families that are here and been here for 20 years and not being dipshits and doing the right thing and paying their taxes. And I'm married to a Latina myself. I don't have any of that issues. Just because everybody labels me as a racist because I'm a Trump supporter is bullshit.
Well,
It really is.
Trump is very racist.
There's lots of people that have different beliefs that don't let them out there because they're too scared. I'm just not that guy. I don't really give a shit what you think about me or
What does that mean?
saying or, what do you mean?
So I just told you that Trump is very racist, and then in response you said there's a lot of people with a lot of beliefs that don't let them out there because they're scared. What does that mean? How does that address my comment that Trump is very racist?
I don't think he is very racist, though.
I mean, he posted
really
a picture
don't.
of black people as monkeys. He
God,
violated the
give me a
Civil Rights
break.
Act and give you a break. What do you mean?
Have you ever been in a locker room and with all your boys and all your friends and talking shit and running your mouth and all that shit?
Not
Have you ever
since
done
middle
that?
School.
Not since middle school. So you have guy friends, I'm assuming, yeah?
Yeah.
And you go to the gym apparently, or you say
Yeah,
you
I
do or
do.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just like they say, bar room, locker talk, all that crap. It's just a majority of guys, believe it or not, admit it or not, just like everybody's got a price. Everybody's got a price for something. I guarantee it.
So
they
are you
won't
basically
admit it,
saying
but they do.
it's like
And
it's not
everybody-
super
hold on, let me finish.
racist to depict black people as monkeys because it's kind of like just what
it's
guys
just
do.
talking. It's a lot of shit. Just talk shit. A lot of guys
Yeah,
just
a lot
talk
of guys just characterize black people as monkeys. Do a lot of your friends
a lot of guys
characterize
just
black
talk
people as
shit.
monkeys?
Oh my God! Give me a break. You know what I'm talking about, bro.
Well, I'm
You know what
I'm
talking
legitimately,
about.
I'm just trying to understand your argument because, all right, I'm like,
So
hey, listen, like one thing that makes Trump racist is the fact that he posted a depiction of Barack and Michelle Obama as like literal gorillas.
That
The reason
doesn't
why
make
this
him
is
racist.
Well,
It's
I think it
just
does.
talking shit.
Well, listen, it's racist shit talk
It's
because
just talking shit. It's
Well-
what about all the other people he put on all the other animals? There was other monkeys and rhinos and pigs and all kinds of crap in there.
Well, I mean, I
was
think
just-
that A, he only posted the clip of Barack and Michelle Obama as the gorillas. But B, I think that only furthers the fact that it was motivated by who they are as people, which of course would indicate that he made Barack and Michelle Obama gorillas because they're black. Because if you watch the whole clip, you see Harry Sisson depicted as a pink flamingo, obviously saying, "Oh, Harry Sisson gay, therefore pink flamingo." You saw
What was Whoopi posted as? Whoopi
you
was
saw,
in there too.
One moment. You saw Olivia Giuliana depicted as a pig. Olivia Giuliana plus size, therefore Olivia Giuliana pig. Then you saw Barack and Michelle Obama depicted as gorillas. Okay, well, black, therefore gorillas. And then you're saying, oh, just guys shit talk. Bro, he is the president of the most powerful country on the face of planet Earth. No, presidents don't shit talk. They are the diplomatic representative, okay, of 350 million American constituents. Not to mention that even if this was just shit talk from a random dude in a locker room that I overheard, I would still be walking away by saying this random dude in the locker room that I just overheard shit talking is fucking racist. Because depicting black people as apes, gorillas, or monkeys is one of the most historically explicit and dangerous racial tropes we know. I mean, it started centuries ago with evangelical movements in Europe to attempt to explain the creationist narrative, like, God created man and the beast of the wild, by segregating black people to the beast of the wild and the white man to the man created in the image of God. That's why we have seen them depicted as monkeys, apes, gorillas. We saw the same thing in slavery era cartoons, pro-segregationist rhetoric, anti-black propaganda, to say that the black man is of the wild, the beast, the dog. Because what do dogs do for you? All right? They're your pet. They're beneath you. They're inferior to you. They do what you want. You say, come eat, they eat. You say, go fetch, they fetch. And that is exactly the depiction that has been upheld by white people, of black people for centuries, to justify that subserviency of slavery and to quell moral qualms surrounding the ethical implications of making a human property. Well, guess what? They're not really a human. They're not really a man. They're not really a woman. They're not really a person, because they're really the beast of the wild, the gorilla, the ape, the monkey, the dog. And that's why it's so racist to depict black people as monkeys, as apes, gorillas.
Okay, I get where you're coming from. I get it. But Trump is not a regular president. He's never was a politician. America is a business. It's a corporation.
That's
it needs
actually
to be
not true.
somebody. Well, I mean, there we go again. It believes on what you believe in and what I believe in is two different things.
If you think
That's
that
all.
America is a corporation, then you think that it's in the better
It's a
interests of
business.
America to extract profit from Americans. But no, they're actually supposed to work in the interests of Americans.
Oh no, and hopefully we will get to that, and hopefully all this tariff and all this other crap that's going on is going to pan out, and that's what I'm hoping for and believing, and that's where I'm at. I would believe Donald Trump over Biden any day of the week, or especially Kamala.
Who
Any
told
day of the
30,000
week.
lies in their first term? Was it Biden, Kamala, or Trump?
I don't know. I didn't do all those statistic finding.
I know you don't know the statistics like me. Yeah, it was Trump.
Well, all I know.
Well,
is that no
like
matter-
why are you more willing to believe the guy that lies more?
Because I live it. I literally live it.
You live his lies?
No, I live in America. I live the problems that
You
we're
live in
having with all
America,
the-
more, therefore you're more willing to believe the guy that lies more. Why?
You know what I'm trying to say. Come
I
on
actually
now.
don't.
Yeah, you do.
No,
You're
I
not
don't.
dumb.
I'd be honest. If I knew what you're trying to say, I'd tell you.
Let's put it this way. So, like I was saying before, I've gotten in trouble and banned for just being a Trump supporter, not saying anything racial, not doing anything racial, just for believing.
Yeah, for sure,
Just
bro.
for wanting. I mean, you think that's right? You think that's funny? Really?
I just don't think that's what happened.
I can guarantee you that's what happened.
No, you don't get banned for supporting Trump. You get banned
Yes.
for saying that I support Trump because the 2020 election was STOLEN. You don't get banned for supporting Trump. You get banned for saying I support Trump because I
That's
think that
not
E. Jean
true at
Carroll
all.
deserved to get raped or something like that.
That's
yeah,
not-
sure. You don't get banned for saying that you support Trump. You get banned for saying I support Trump, and that's why I think that those 7 Democrats in Congress should be public. Come on. No, you don't get banned for flying the MAGA flag. That's bullshit. You left the app, so I can't hear you. Maybe you got banned again. While you're coming back, I'm going to thank a couple people. Hey, AJ.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, wait a second. I want to thank a couple people. Hey, AJ, thank you so much for the $20 donation over on Venmo, who says, thank you for trying. This is the same AJ that had his mom up on the live a little back. AJ, dude, man, I feel bad for you, dude. Your mom is gone into that cold. Thank you for the $20, man. Let's get 200 AJWs. I appreciate you for the $20, bro. Same thing to Cadence. Thank you for the $10, who says, I'm 21 and I've never been registered to vote, but I'm going to register this year to vote to cancel this guy's vote. Base Cadence. Purple, thank you for the $10, who says, as a Latina married to a white man, if he supported Trump, I'd immediately divorce him. Based. And then Val, thank you for the $15 on Venmo, who says, I'm being so for real. I live in LA and I think I saw this guy with a MAGA flag in the truck and flipped him off earlier. Like, I'm so sure it was him. Well, thank you so much for fulfilling your patriotic duty and flipping him off. Super based, super based. Over on PayPal, James, thank you so much for the $20, who says, guests claim that Trump's quote-unquote not that guy, and quote-unquote already a billionaire, but is also suing the IRS for $10 billion and grifted via Trump coin. Make it make sense because he wants more money. That's why billionaires are billionaires. If they just wanted enough money to like live a happy and free life, they would have maybe stopped at a couple million. But no, they just keep on going because they want more. And then Cully, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. It says, thank you, Dean, for being my favorite evening stream. Well, it's good to see you again, Cully. I know that you've been in here the last couple days. And then Ellie, thank you so much for the $10 as well. If you want to support me, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio on my TikTok account. You could also find the handle on the top of the phone screen or in the pinned message over on YouTube. You could even attach a message to donation. I'll try to do my best to read it off. Is there anything else that you wanted to add on here, Texas Wood? I'm going to be honest with you, bro. Like this is just not looking too good for you.
It's looking fine for me. I'm doing just fine, brother.
If Donald Trump pardoned domestic terrorists, would you still support him?
No. And if he's found guilty in the Epstein's files, that will be the end of me. With him, that is.
Okay. He pardoned domestic terrorists already. The domestic terrorists who like raided our Capitol, tried to go cops in the process, smear their shit.
Oh, God. That's not... Come on.
That is clearly domestic terrorism. Like DJ Rodriguez.
Clearly set up like most of it's all set up, and you know it.
Set up by who?
You don't think that Antifa was dressing up like Trump supporters? Come on. Think about it. They do it all the time.
Wait. So all this means is not only did he pardon a domestic terrorist.
If I wasn't working, I would have went there.
Listen to what I'm saying. You're insane. Listen to what I'm saying.
Go.
So if you think that they're Antifa, all that this means is that he didn't just merely pardon any domestic terrorists. He pardoned Antifa domestic terrorists. Doesn't that make it like 10 times worse from your perspective?
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't support it because you said, "Oh, I would have supported him if he pardoned domestic terrorists."
I don't know.
I was like, "Okay, well he did." Like DJ Rodriguez, who tried to kill Officer Fanone, and then he responded by saying, "Oh no, they weren't actually MAGA. They were those crazy radical left lunatic Antifa terrorists." Okay, so therefore he pardoned those crazy radical left Antifa terrorists that tried to kill cops and smear their shit on the walls inside the Capitol, flying the fucking Confederate flag, and beating fucking Officer Fanone over the back with metal pipes while trying to grab his gun, then driving a stun gun into his neck, giving him a heart attack. Like, holy fucking shit, dude. So you're definitely not a Trump supporter anymore after learning this, right? Like after coming to this revelation?
I definitely don't agree with beating cops or smearing shit or breaking anything or any violence.
But do you agree that they were like domestic terrorists?
I guess. I don't know too much about it. I just know that a lot of that was bullshit, but there were some definite wrong people in there, just like there are.
But were they domestic terrorists?
Just like there are when they do the riots in 2020.
But were they domestic? Don't pivot. Were they domestic terrorists? Yes or no?
I'm not pivoting. I have no idea if they were or not, but I would say yes.
Wait, but you said that they were Antifa.
I just said I would say yes.
Okay, so therefore Trump pardoned domestic terrorists.
If they did that shit and that shit was proven, they need to go to jail and be done whatever.
They actually did go to jail. Yeah, and then Trump let them out with a pardon.
And I definitely don't agree with that.
So I just want to clarify.
I said earlier,
Can we agree that therefore Trump pardoned domestic terrorists?
If they were domestic terrorists, yes. I don't agree with that.
Okay, so he did pardon domestic terrorists, right?
I've heard nothing about it. Actually, this is the first I've heard about that. So I'm going to go with you and say, yeah, that's some bullshit.
Okay, I want to play you a clip real quick. Just give me a moment.
Yeah, go ahead.
And for flying the MAGA flag, that's bullshit.
For flying the MAGA flag, what?
1 second. Oh no, they weren't actually MAGA. They were those. You think that they're? Listen to what?
That will be the end of me with him, that is.
Okay. He pardoned domestic terrorist already. To do my best to read it off. Is there anything else that you wanted to add on here, Texas Wood? I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like,
No, if you don't want me on your feed, kick me off. Whatever you got to do, dude. I've been trying to get on here for long.
Well,
but
hey, Texas Wood.
Most of the time.
I'm playing the VOD of the stream. I'm not saying that. Just like listen to the VOD real quick.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know that.
If Donald Trump pardoned domestic terrorists, would you still support him?
No. And if he's found guilty in the Epstein.
So we listened to you say that if Trump pardoned domestic terrorists, you no longer support him. And, I mean, it wasn't even 30 seconds ago that you agreed Trump did pardon domestic terrorists. So just to clarify, you're taking that MAGA flag down, right?
No, I'm not taking it down. I said if he's found guilty with the Epstein shit, that's what I meant. The pedophile stuff, the domestic terrorist stuff, I'm not too sure about.
No, that's not what you meant.
I'm
You
not
said
too
that
sure
you'd
about
stop
the domestic
supporting him
terrorist
if he pardoned domestic terrorists or if he was found guilty in the Epstein file. Dude, just listen to it again.
Well, fine. I misspoke. What do you want me to do? Sorry. And if he's found guilty in the Epstein file.
You misspoke?
I guess because
Oh my God!
It's hard, dude. It's hard. What do you want me to do?
So
Sorry.
when you just said no, you actually meant to say yes.
Well, no. What I meant to say was wait. What I meant to say was if he's found guilty in the Epstein shit, I don't give a shit who you are.
Wait.
You should
But
be hung.
what was the question I asked you that you responded
I know what
no
you
to?
asked me, and I answered too quickly, and you did whatever you do, and you got me. I'm gotten. There you go. You win. You win.
But just to clarify, you still support Trump?
Yes, but I can.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to stop, but I will stop. I promise you, and give you my word. I will never fly. I got 183 trunk take tops. Literally 183 of them. Wear one every day. So, that being said, I will burn all that shit and never speak his name in a good way if he's found guilty in the Epstein file.
What if he was credibly accused?
I got an issue with that, though, because remember before Trump was going to run for president, everybody and their freaking mother was in love with him? And then all of a sudden he runs for president and everybody hates him and he's a racist? I mean, I don't know.
Here's what I'm saying. What if there's a woman that accused Epstein of raping her, later sued the Epstein estate and won a settlement because Epstein raped her, but when she accused Epstein of raping her, also accused Trump of raping her?
It would have to be proven.
But like,
Even
obviously
though
it's going to be
Epstein was
credible
the
here
biggest- was-
because
No,
we
no,
do
no,
know
wait,
that they
hear
were
me out.
a survivor of Epstein and his rich friends.
Okay, hold on. Hear me out first. I get it. Epstein was whatever, and whatever these people say, whatever. I'm not on that channel, but I would have to be proven. There's too many people that are money hungry.
So
Okay,
if
hold on. Let me clarify.
If a court proved
Wait,
that Donald
wait,
Trump
wait,
raped
let me-
someone, you'd stop supporting him.
Would you let me clarify first? Everybody, okay, when before you were even thought of as a sperm, there used to be billboards up everywhere. Come work here, come do this, come do that. Oh, this is a great place. Now everywhere you go is, hey, sue this. Oh, where you heard it work. It's all bullshit. Everybody's money hungry, happy, whatever you want to call it. It's nowhere different than when I was growing up. And I'm what am I, 56? So it's a completely different world.
Okay, I'm just kind of ignoring that.
But I'm just hearing you.
Are you saying that if a court proved that Donald Trump raped
what
a
if I
woman,
told
you'd
you
stop
that I
supporting
got
him?
raped by fucking Epstein? Would you believe me?
What? Can you just answer my question?
Okay, what's the question again? Sorry. Go ahead.
Are you saying that if a court proved, okay, that Donald Trump raped a woman, you'd stop supporting him?
Yes, if it was proven.
In a court of law.
In a court, not a civil court. Not like you're fixing to try to put on me.
Well, that's the wrong picture. Why not a civil court?
Because I mean, just look at everything that goes along with that.
Because you already know that a woman did prove that he raped her in a civil court of law.
And in a civil court, it's completely different.
But what are the differences that make you not believe it?
It's completely different. If he really raped her and it was proven, he would have been put in jail.
No,
He would have
civil
been
courts
put
don't
in
send
jail
people
if
to
he was
jail.
convicted.
Civil
Did he get
courts don't-
convicted of rape?
He was found guilty of rape in a civil court of law.
He got
Why don't you believe
convicted
that
of
civil
rape.
court of law? If
Convicted.
you're using the word convicted colloquially just to denote guilt, then yes.
Okay, if he was convicted of rape, he would not be president. He would not be here. He would be in jail. Unless
Civil
he got
courts
out
don't
already
send
'cause he
people
gets
to
old.
jail. They force them to pay money.
Oh my God, I know. That's fucking such a joke. That's where the money hungry shit comes in. But if he really
Thank
raped
you
the
for the
girl,
galaxy.
he would be put in prison.
I'm sorry,
If you
that
rape
claim's not
somebody and
true.
it's proven.
I'm sorry,
Yes,
that
it is
claim's not true because of the statute of limitations. So statute of limitations, okay, basically prevent somebody from being prosecuted in a criminal court of law, given that the evidence comes out 10, 15, 20, 25 years after it happens. There's not a statute of limitations on all crimes, and honestly, statute of limitations are now kind of getting weeded out of the system because they suck. Now, by the time E. Jean Carroll sued Trump for raping her, it was past the statute of limitations that would have allowed for that charge to be pursued criminally. So it doesn't matter if E. Jean Carroll presented a video of Trump doing it to her in that courtroom, okay? He still wouldn't have gone to jail because he still could not have been criminally prosecuted.
Okay, so that being said, super smart stuff. I get it. Whatever.
So why don't you believe the civil court?
I just have a problem with that.
Why?
I mean, wasn't she a porn star on top of that?
No, she was a journalist.
Oh, that was the. I know there was some porn star when he had some issue with or something. Too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, the criminal court where he cheated on Melania, then gave her money to not tell the world before the 2016 election. So
Okay,
why
so
don't you
do
believe
you-
the
do you
court
really
that determined he
think-
raped Eugene Carroll?
Do you really? Why would somebody his stature and where he's been with all the money he's got? Why would any billionaire or anybody with that kind of money that women are falling over? Why would he need to rape anybody? That's
Oh, so
that's
Epstein?
What I'm having a problem with.
So Epstein. So Epstein's
No,
not a
that was-
rapist. Oh, but Epstein's a billionaire.
That's different. Those
Oh,
are kids. I'm
it's just
talking
different.
about-
So Diddy.
I'm talking about the pedophile stuff.
Diddy's
Oh
worth
my God.
hundreds of millions of dollars. So Diddy wouldn't rape anyone.
Why would you?
No, is
what I'm
is
saying.
that also different? Was Diddy also different? O.J.
Why
Simpson?
would you?
Wait,
Did you
O.J.
hear what I
murderer.
said?
He's a murderer.
Do you hear
who's
what I said? Why
who's
would you rape
R.
someone?
Kelly? So R. Kelly, R. Kelly was innocent.
Oh my God.
And why would you do that to somebody for power?
Why would you rape someone if
You're gonna have to move. You're on my way from my test box.
Oh, I am?
Yeah, there's a charger there.
There's a charger behind me? Oh.
Yeah.
I gotta
I'm
move.
trying to charge your car.
Okay.
Thank you.
They told your ass.
No, they're not towing me. You can't tow me. You see
No,
the size of my
no,
truck.
no. They told your ass.
They told me? What do you mean?
They told your ass. They said, move.
Like as in telling me something?
Yeah, they told your ass. They said, move.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
Oh, she was nice
But-
about it.
but
She
do
was
it
a
now.
Nice girl.
Go move your car. I'm done talking to you because you're crazy and you need to move your car. Let's go to move on to the next guest. Dude, oh my god, mental brain rot. Oh my god, mental fucking brain rot, dude. Only up inside of that queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump as president. I'm losing my mind out here, bro. I'm losing my goddamn mind out here, man. Let's go to get that next Trump supporter loaded up inside of that box. Only up inside of that queue if you happen to be MAGA. I'd really appreciate it if you could follow our rules. And Fit Dad, thank you so much for the $50 donation over on YouTube Super Chat. Well, moment. Thank you so much for that. Well, what's that?
This is a matter of identity, bro.
Do you
We
support
must
Trump?
let go of our identity and see the truth. No, brother. It's a matter of truth.
Okay, bye. Fit Dad with the $50 says, I've been in many locker rooms and my friends have never called me a monkey, you hillbilly. Quote unquote, I'm not that guy. Yeah, dude, what kind of locker rooms has that guy been in? What kind of locker rooms has that guy been in, you know? Appreciate you for the $50, Fit Dad. It's good to see you as always. Thank you so much for the love. Please do show some love to Fit Dad down below in that comment section. And, well, that guy's fucked. That guy is fucked. Oh my god. Dude, that guy is so fucked. Holy shit. He is so fucked. So that guy's been mooning Parker. But something that I have that Parker doesn't, for the most part, because of my verification, is a direct line of contact with TikTok 24/7. I'll actually show it to you y'all real quick. Check this out. Dude, oh my God, that guy's fucked. So here's my direct line of conversation to TikTok. Just ask me what I need help with. I click a button, and then all of a sudden it starts a live chat with an agent. And then if I need, I could get it like bumped up to a senior specialist who, has like direct control over TikTok accounts. But anyways, all I need to do is once I end my live stream, first and foremost, his account name was David. I have the ability to see every guest that joined my stream today. I go and find David on that list. I just take his @ down. And then I go and I open that chat. I say, this account took his pants off on stream. And it's also at 2 hours and 50 minutes into the VOD. I'm actually going to write that down. Prosecute this crime. And then all of a sudden, they just take his account information of where he's located. Like literally like all of his personal information. And then they forward it to his local PD. Good night. Okay. Good night, guys. So what he just did by coming up onto the stream and showing his bare ass is the same thing as going to a park and pulling down your pants for children to see. But it's actually worse because instead of there being like 1 or 2 children, there's thousands. Minors are on TikTok. Minors are watching the stream right now. That will literally land him on the registry. That guy will be a registered sex offender because of that. Good night, dude. Holy cow. Fucking cooked. All right, moving on to the next guest. Dude, he just ruined his life in 10 seconds. He completely ruined his life. GG, bruh. Holy fuck. Welcome in. How old are you?
25.
What year were you born in?
2001.
Okay. Perfect. And do you support Trump?
Yeah.
All right. 1 second. Like I said. All right. 2050. David. Dude is fucked, man. Holy cow. All right, man. Give me 1 second here to thank a couple people. Then I'll go and pass that mic off to you. Riley, thank you for the $6 over on Venmo, who says, I've been a silent watcher for years now, but I wanted to show you some love. Oh, thank you so much, Riley. Leah, thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo, who says, would like to mention, he said, quote, unquote, why do you need to grape somebody? Disgusting. Yeah, you never need to grape somebody. It's why grape is so bad. Grape is never needed. Like, what? Rex, thank you for the $5. And then Bethany, thank you for the $5. Over on PayPal, thank you so much for the $15. Fasi, thank you so much for the $15, man. I really appreciate you. It's good to see you, and happy Ramadan to yourself, man. If you're watching and you want to support me, you can actually find my Venmo, my PayPal, in the link tree and in my bio on TikTok, pin message on YouTube, and at the top of my phone screen on TikTok as well. Go ahead and take it away, man. Tell us why you support Trump.
I wanted to talk about something you said a couple guests ago. You said Trump never did anything to secure the border.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to know why you support Trump, but yeah, I don't think he's done anything good to secure the border. So true.
He signed Executive Order 14165, which increased the physical barriers, the amount of personnel on hand, and the increased detention. And
yeah, what was the increase in the amount of personnel?
I don't know the exact numbers, but I'm telling you, he did stuff to increase border security. So you kind of just lied about that earlier.
Well, I mean, what you're equivocating between here is securing the border and increasing border security. Like, for instance, y'all like to say that there's a wide open border under Biden, even though he had 10,000 troops deployed. You know?
What was the open border policy then?
What?
Biden's open border policy.
Oh, Biden didn't have an open border policy.
Yeah, he did.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? What was it called?
You want me to go find the number for you?
Yeah. I do. So this guy saying that he actually had a literal open border policy. Wow, man, I've never heard that claim. Dude, I'm gonna need a ukulele in at least 5 tiers. I'm gonna need a ukulele and at least 5 tears once he realizes how stupid of a claim that was. Why would he make such a dumbass claim, dude? Why? Wow, I don't know. While I was looking for that real quick, Jumping Spider, thank you for the $5 over on YouTube. Super Chat, he says, keep it the good work, Dean. Thank you so much, Jumping Spider. I appreciate you for that. Show some of the spider down below in that chat. How about we do a quick 2 for 1? I'm also going to reach out to Santana and Parker because I need to go pee pretty bad. So I already text Parker. I'm going to text Santana real quick. Yo, are you free? Let's see. Haley, thank you for the $5 on Venmo, who says thank you for all that you do. Thank you so much. All right, I'm gonna go to get Parker up in here. By the way,
it was
back?
Title 40. It was Title 42, and he ended it in 2023.
All right, let me go to get Parker up in here real quick. All right, where's he at? He said that he's in the queue. He's just gonna cover me while I pee real quick. There he is. All right. Parker, he'll have fun with this. Okay, Parker, I appreciate you for being able to cover me real quick. Just to catch you up with what this guy's argument is while I run to the bathroom. His argument is that Biden literally had open border policy. Not figuratively, not metaphorically, but literally. And
no, my argument.
We just got back. One moment. And we just heard back from him. And he's saying that Biden's literal open border policy... Bro, we could just listen to the VOD back.
No, my argument was that you said Trump didn't increase border security when he literally signed an executive order to increase border security.
No. My argument was that he didn't secure the border.
No, you said he didn't pass nothing to increase border security.
No. You're just confused.
No, listen, I'm not.
I'm trying to talk to Parker. I got to go pee. Calm down. Sit tight. Everything will be okay. The world's not going to explode. So, Parker, once again, he said that Biden had a literal open border policy. Like, he even said that he would go get the number of Biden's literal open border policy. And he came back and said...
that's what it was called. I never said that's what it was called.
Bro, you did. Just be quiet.
No, I didn't.
Oh, my God.
No, I didn't.
Oh, my God. Yes, you did.
No,
I didn't. Okay, bro. All right, listen. We're gonna go to play it. We're going to go play it for the class. Thank you for the $5 on Venmo, who says thank you for all that you do. Thank you. Listen, Parker. Looking for that.
See?
Oh, Biden. What? That there's a wide unopen border under Biden, even though he had 10,000 troops deployed. You know?
What was the open border policy then?
What?
Biden's open border policy.
Oh, Biden didn't have an open border policy.
Yeah, he did.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? What was it called?
You want me to go find the number for you?
Yeah. I do.
And I just told you it was called Title 42. And I just told you it was called Title 42. I never said it was called open border policy, did I?
There you go, Parker. I'll be back. Have fun.
Answer the question,
his argument
before you leave.
That Title 42 is
do you think
Biden's
Title 42
open
is
border
border policy?
It caused open borders, I said.
No, Title 42 was emergency COVID policy that restricted the level of border crossings. You know that, right?
No, it didn't. It opened the border for people to come over.
What are you talking about?
It caused less people to work at the border. What do you think is going to happen? Like, you think people aren't just going to start coming over to take care?
So you're saying getting rid of it, or are you saying putting it in place?
Putting it in place, and he got rid of it in 2023.
Wait, I have a question for chat. Was Title 42 originally put in place under Biden, or was it put in place under Trump originally?
I said he got rid of it in 2023.
So it's not that he put it in place; it's that he got rid of it, right?
Yes, and it caused less people at the border. That's why Trump did Executive Order 14165 that increased physical barriers, more people on hand, and detention centers, and even expulsion out of the country of illegal citizens.
Yeah, you understand that he's used his power to literally violate immigrants' due process rights, right? Everyone in the jurisdiction of the country is granted due process rights. He's been violating people's due process rights. But secondly, let me just address the fact that it's not an open border to have just a little bit less security. That makes no sense. Open border means no restrictions, right?
Right.
Okay. So if there's an open border, that means there were no restrictions. I can point to you the level of deportations that happened under the Biden administration that shows you there were restrictions, would that then mean you would concede that there was not an open border?
It wasn't a complete open border, but there was. Did you see how many
Okay,
people crossed
you've
under the
you've
Biden
now
administration?
conceded. So you've now conceded that the border was not open.
But did you see how many people crossed under the Biden administration?
Do you concede that the border was not open?
Sure.
Okay.
But did you see how many people crossed under the Biden administration?
Yeah, so that's
Compared
actually
to the
due
Trump
to inflation and economic security that existed all around the world. And this is why Kamala Harris's policy specifically to address this in terms of raising over $5 billion for private funds for Central American countries to build up their economies to reduce the likelihood of people coming here was effective at doing so. Because economic security or insecurity is the reason why more people are coming to our country.
And another thing, why when someone's seeking asylum, aren't they supposed to go to the next country over? Why are they able to come from like Colombia and stuff and come up through Central America and up through Mexico?
That's not necessary. But I do have to get going right now. Dean, I appreciate you having me out, man.
I appreciate you so much for coming up.
Peace, bro.
Yeah. So once again, you're saying that Biden's open border policy was Title 42, right?
No, he got rid of Title 42 in 2023, I said.
Okay, so Title 42 was not an open border policy, right?
No, Title 42 secured it more during COVID.
Okay.
But when he got rid of it in 2023, that's when a whole bunch of immigrants crossed over because it decreased.
Do you know why he got rid of it in 2023?
Because COVID was over, pretty much.
Right. So Title 42, specifically, I'm reading from Section 265 says, it allows for the suspension of entries and imports from designated places to prevent spread of communicable diseases. Okay? And you could only implement Title 42 when there is a nationwide health emergency that's declared. And as soon as that health emergency is declared as being over, it is thereby unconstitutional to keep Title 42 in effect, which actually led to SCOTUS shooting Title 42 down. Keep in mind, SCOTUS is and was, at that point in time, 6'3" conservative leaning, including 3 conservative appointments made by Trump himself. All right? So your argument here that Biden opened the border because the 6'3" conservative leaning Supreme Court ended Title 42 because there's no longer a nationwide health emergency that was officially declared is kind of bullshit. Not going to lie.
No, my argument was that you lied and said Trump did nothing.
Oh, so we're just pivoting away from all that? So we're just pivoting away from all that Title 42
My original claim.
Oh, okay. So you want to go back to the original claim? You don't want to talk about the falsities that you propagated on this live about Title 42? Because I mean, you said that was Biden's open border policy.
Oh my god! I said
yeah. Like the first thing that you said was that Title 42 was Biden's open border policy. Then Parker corrected you. Do you mean like ending Title 42 because he didn't know that you're dumb as you are? So he was like, maybe
I'm the one that said that.
But then I even clarified here. No, that Biden didn't even end Title 42. It was actually SCOTUS because it was unconstitutional to keep in effect because there's no public health emergency declared. So let me just clarify here. Explain to me how. Okay, Title 42 being ended by the Supreme Court 6'3" conservative leaning was Biden's open border policy?
I don't even understand your question.
Okay, exactly, because my question's bullshit, right? Because it's a question about the bullshit statement you made. You said that Biden's open border policy was ending Title 42. So explain to me how the 6'3" conservative leaning Supreme Court ending Title 42 because the COVID was over, okay, is Biden's open border policy.
Well, he didn't replace it with nothing else that was substantial enough to stop people from crossing the border. That's why you saw a huge amount of people crossing the border.
Okay, so just to clarify, your claim is not that ending Title 42 was Biden's open border policy. It was that he didn't impose any legislation after it was ended.
My claim was that you lied.
You keep on going back to that, which I've already refuted and proven you wrong on, as a deflection away from me calling out your bad argument.
You're deflecting because you didn't.
No. The only person deflecting here is you, sir. Okay, because you came up here, you made a claim that I lied. I clarified that I didn't lie, and then you went on to say that Biden had open border policy, Title 42. Clarified. You said ending Title 42. I clarified that SCOTUS ended it because COVID was over, and now I'm just like pointing out the bullshit here. So just to clarify. Title 42 ending was not Biden's open border policy, correct?
Him not replacing with something else is what led to the open border.
Oh, so then earlier when you said that he literally had an open border policy that you could find me the number of, you were wrong. Because it's not that he imposed a policy that opened the border that you could find a number of. It's
I didn't
his
say
lack
it was
of
called
policy.
the open border policy. I was going to find the number of the title that he ended, and then I did, and then you tried to flip it and make it sound like something else.
Wait. No, you said that you'd find me the number for his open border policy, and then you came back with the number for Title 42.
Yeah, because I wasn't literally. I wasn't.
So in other words,
you're
you're calling Title 42 Biden's open border policy.
No, I'm saying that.
That's literally what you said. No, listen.
I'm saying
listen.
that
I'll literally just play it back for you real quick.
I'm saying that after he ended it, that
You want me to go find the number for you?
policy. See then.
What?
Biden's open border policy.
Oh, Biden didn't have an open border policy.
Yeah, he did.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? What was it called?
You want me to go find the number for you?
Yeah. You said, and I quote, Biden had an open border policy. Okay? I said, and I quote, what is it called? You respond by saying, and I quote, do you want me to go find the number for you? Which you then left and came back by naming Title 42. So if that wasn't the name of his open border policy, then what was? Because you said that Biden literally had policy that he literally implemented, that literally opened the border, that you could literally go find the number of.
Why would I call it Title 42 and not the open border policy? I was like referring it as the open border policy because he ended Title 42 and then didn't replace it with nothing else.
One second. False. No. He didn't end Title 42. The Supreme Court did.
Okay, but he didn't replace it with nothing else.
Oh, okay. Okay, so then Biden's open border policy doesn't have a number attached because it's not a policy. More so, he opened the border by not imposing any policy. So you were wrong earlier when you said it was an actual policy.
I guess I was, but I meant that him not imposing something else.
Okay, so do you know what the bipartisan border bill is?
I don't.
Okay, obviously you don't. So that's actually a piece of border policy that the Biden-Harris administration pushed for and got it bipartisan support by Republicans and Democrats in 2022. But then Donald Trump told the Republicans to vote against it. So it's Trump's fault that the border was wide unopen?
Nah, it's Kamala Harris's fault because she was the one running.
Wait, but they did have a policy that had populist bipartisan support that Donald Trump told the Republicans to vote against.
How could he tell people what to do?
Because he's like the supreme leader of the GOP?
I don't think they would like if they believed it was right, they wouldn't. They've voted against him before, haven't they?
Not in this circumstance, not under Biden, no.
I'm pretty sure they have.
No, I mean,
Like,
dude, this is
bills
one second.
were
This is
passed
public
during
information.
Biden's administration.
This is very public information. Like Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, Ted Cruz, they all came out and said that like Donald Trump called them all personally, told them to vote against this bill. Donald Trump even said, "I'll make sure that this bill doesn't pass." Right? Like it was his whole thing.
I'll have to do some research on that.
I think that you need to do research on a lot. But if everything that I'm saying here is true, then would you argue that Trump was a reason that the border was open at the end of Biden's term?
If that bill would have corrected the border and made it not as easily crossed, then I would agree with you.
Okay, yeah. So Trump opened the border.
Not necessarily, but I guess. Because Biden could have signed.
Yeah. Biden could have signed an executive order. That's actually exactly what he did after the bipartisan border bill fell because of Trump. Fun fact. Give me 1 second here, guys. All right. We're going to move on to the next guest right now, y'all. Only up inside of that queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Donald J. Trump as president. Just had to shoot a quick text to one of my friends. You know, goddamn, that guy was boring, man. That guy was a bore. Truly boring. All right, guys. We got Max loaded up into the box, y'all. Only up inside of that queue if you happen to be an American adult that supports Trump. And we have a couple people to thank. Give me one moment. Hi, welcome in. Do you support Trump, Max? Max, hello. You have 5 seconds to respond. Okay, I guess Max isn't here. Goodbye, Max. Moving on to the next guest. Oh, there's a very special person in the guest request. Or actually, they may have left. Nope, they're still there. There's a very good boy in the queue. You know who you are, Mr. fucking Liam. What the hell are you doing here? All right, what's up? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I support Trump.
Oh, it's you. You come up here every so often. Wait, are you the porn star?
Ah, gosh. Yep, I gotta claim it.
Yeah, you're the porn star.
Thanks for the promotion. How many people are on my page right now? Damn, you got 17,000 viewers and you just promoted me like that?
Well, I'm not sharing any identity. Well, I don't know, but if I did know, I wouldn't share any information about where you do porn. Just simply pointing out the
all I'm
fact
saying
that
is,
you're generally
if
a porn
anybody's
star.
interested, they could ask. So you.
No, no one is interested, and no one is asking. First,
You be wrong. Last time you said
bipartisan
something,
agreement
I had
of the
over 10
stream.
people ask.
Yeah,
got a lot of
MAGA Daniel,
corny
MAGA
followers.
Mike, MAGA Tom, MAGA Rufus, MAGA Bob, MAGA John.
No,
MAGA...
there are actually more women.
Really?
You'd be surprised.
Really?
Leftists.
I don't know.
They think that they could change my mind to be a Democrat, when as all I'm going to do is make them say, Trump! Na 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 na.
You are so fucking cringy. How old are you?
I'm glad you think so.
How old are you?
Dude, I don't identify as my age.
You don't identify with your age?
Yeah.
You
I
can't
identify
do that.
as a 22-year-old male.
You're 22. So we're the same age, pretty much.
I guess so.
I feel like if we were to compare testosterone levels, that would be quickly proven false.
I doubt it. I bet you. You already said my profession, bro.
That is like literally like the least comfortable response that you
You
could
already
have
said
given.
my profession, right?
that is literally
Bro,
the
you're
least
the one
comfortable
pump
response
chump.
that you could
Okay,
have
you're
given.
probably lasting 15 minutes.
Okay. All right. So let's try to keep it to politics. I would rather not talk about sex with a
Well, you're the one that
decrepit
fucking brought
60-year-old
it
MAGA
up,
man.
dog.
I was talking about testosterone.
All right, let's talk about Trump for the low income. Now, what do you think about the no tax on tips on blue states not accepting it and red states are?
What blue states aren't accepting no tax on tips, huh?
New York and California both said that they're not accepting the no
They
tax on tip policies from Trump.
They can't do that.
Well, you would think they couldn't, but that's what they're doing.
Show me this.
Because all you got to do is Google search it like you always do with everything else.
Google search what? Lil bro.
California policies are not going with Trump's no tax on tips.
Oh, actually, the first thing that pops up says no tax on tips 2026, what California restaurant workers can expect because of the no tax on tips law.
Well, you got to keep going down and look. You can't
What
just
are we
go to
doing?
the first thing
What
you
are-
see.
what are we doing?
Like I said, if there's people in California that said that they're not getting it, and there's people in
Wait.
New York that said that their governors
wait,
aren't
wait.
allowing it either.
Wait. The first thing that pops up is literally from Gavin
I
Newsom.
heard you.
Okay.
Why don't you just scroll
from
down a
Gavin
little bit
Newsom
more?
saying Gavin Newsom on Twitter says the governor is not refusing to implement no tax on tips. From Gavin Newsom's press
why
office.
would he even have to? Why would he even have to say that? And you know he's lied multiple times.
Because like y'all just propagate lies and say shit for no fucking reason.
Okay, so the 24 billion in fraud for
Wait, no, don't
homelessness-
pivot to fraud. Don't pivot to fraud. You said that California was refusing to implement no tax on tips.
I know.
The press office
And
of the
so-
California governor says, and I quote, and I
heard
quote. Let's go
I
ahead
heard
and
you,
find.
Dean.
Okay, so you were wrong.
Now let me finish. He also lied about the 24 billion in homelessness and said that it was spent, and then they got busted, and people have already been arrested for partials of that 24 billion. So
Okay, so you're
I
saying that he's
promise
lying.
you
So you're
can-
saying that he's lying when he says that he is gonna implement it. He's lying.
No. What I'm saying is, you can't trust everything he says because he's lied
Right.
multiple times.
Yeah.
and been caught-
Yeah.
and been caught.
Okay. So then, what's the fucking evidence? You can't just basically. Real man speaking. Thank you. You can't just basically speculate that Gavin Newsom in the state of California is going to disobey federal law and tell their constituents, sucks to suck. This federal tax code that could be beneficial to you is actually not applicable to you, and then to turn around and say that this is not happening and we are not refusing to implement the no tax on tips policy. Like, dude, you're sounding so insane. You're crazy, man. You're nuts.
The thing is if it's happening, and even though you Google search it and he said it's not, he's also said multiple things that he said he didn't do either, that he's been proven that he
Okay,
was
but what's the evidence that he is refusing to implement no tax on tips? What's the evidence?
It's not going to be easy to find with you while I'm on a live. Okay.
Are you pissing or is that a sink?
No, that's my bacon. Let me put mute. Hang on.
Okay, so in other words, you believe that California is not going to abide by the law and they're not going to give access to no tax on tips to their constituents. California has clarified and has said that's not true. We're not refusing to implement the law. And you have no evidence that they are refusing to implement the law. Brother, you are like such a cult member.
But I do have evidence that they frauded $24 billion for homelessness.
Okay, we could talk about that here in a bit. After
$24 billion is almost
after you concede that you do not have evidence that they are refusing to implement the no tax on tips.
It's good. I don't mind losing every now and then. You guys mind losing every single one. You have a hard time.
Right. Sounds good. Oh, I appreciate you. I appreciate you for being a good boy and admitting that you were wrong. Now, before we continue on through the debate, I'm just going to thank a couple people. Joe, thank you so much.
Doesn't mean I'm a good boy. It means I'm a good man.
Well, I don't know. You have the mental acuity of a petulant child, so good boy. I'm going to thank a couple people. Joe, thank you for the $10. She says Trumpers should just admit they voted out of racism, transphobia, and homophobia and stop trying to justify shitty policies. I appreciate you for the $10, Joe. I'd also like to thank Siri. Thank you so much for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat, who says, can someone explain to me why Dean called this guest a corn star? Because he literally is. That's what he claimed a while back. Thank you so much for the $10 series. Show some love to Siri down below. I'd also like to thank Ian. Thank you so much for the $50 donation on Vidbo. That is EAN, who says, cook this guy, Dean, from Jasmine and Ian. Jasmine and Ian, y'all are my favorite couple alive. Good to see y'all again. Show some love to Jasmine and Ian down below in that comment section. Thank you so much for the $50 donation. Then same thing goes to you, Rachel. Rachel, thank you so much for the $50 donation as well. Holy crap. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for your kindness, Rachel. I want to see 500 massive Rachel W's and massive Jasmine and Ian W's. Rachel with the $50 just says W King. I appreciate you so much. Then Juliana, thank you for the $10, who says the ads I get on YouTube when I tune into your streams is mostly Turning Point. Yeah, Turning Point and Charlie Kirk, they used to and I apparently still do run ads on my name, which is weird. I'd also like to thank Leah. Thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo. Riley with a 6, and then Haley with a 5. Over on PayPal, just a couple people to thank here. Mark, thank you so much for the 20 Canadian dollars. He says, much love from Canada. I showed my 63-year-old mother a clip of you, and she said, oh, that's Dean, I love him. So you know that retired women in Canada are part of your demographic, lol. Dude, thank you so much for the $20, Mark. And yeah, that's so true. There's actually a lot of older people that do enjoy my content because of all of the frauds that have started fake Facebook accounts claiming to be me, that have amassed millions of followers. I could just shoot one text to my rep and all their accounts get deleted, but I haven't done that yet because they reach an audience that is typically not too tuned into the streams at all, which I think is cool. All right. Anyways, we're all caught up on the donations. I appreciate y'all. So, by the way, Santana, we'll have him up next. Welcome in.
Oh, good. Hello. Spoiler alert. He is the guy that's getting ready to talk about the fraud for the unhoused people in California. He's wrong.
Katie, are you driving?
Oh, so Bill Asaley didn't prosecute somebody that stole over, I think it was 10 million. He's already in court and being prosecuted.
Oh, for
Bill
fraud
Asaley
like Trump? Wait, so they're prosecuting people for fraud like Trump?
That's deflecting.
What is this question?
Yes, I know, but what was
How
he
is it a
just saying?
deflection? If I'm trying to get back to the main topic.
Because if you're saying fraud like somebody else, that's to get it off the fraud that was on the person that got caught.
Well, I mean, dude, fuck
Well, let's
fraudsters,
just
okay?
stop
Fraud
right now, real
bad.
quick.
Fraud
Santana,
bad.
go
Okay,
ahead
I
and
can agree
speak.
that. Fraud bad. Okay, I won't defend a fraudster, will you?
$24 billion that was supposed to be spent on homeless,
Listen,
and they're still coming
listen.
through with a fine nail.
Fraud bad. I won't
Homeless got
defend
worse
fraud.
in
Will you
California.
defend fraud? Why aren't you answering my question? Fraud bad. I won't defend it. Would you?
Yeah, if I feel like the person did fraud.
Like
I
Trump?
will. Well, see, the thing is we're not talking about Trump right now.
Yes, we
Literally
are.
the point of the background.
Well, you think Trump has been a fraudster, but guess what? He
What?
is exposing more crime and corruption, saving. How many kids got saved in Minnesota alone?
Wait 1 second. He actually is exposing a lot of crime and corruption.
How many
I'll actually
kids
give it to
got
him.
saved in Minnesota alone?
Well, moment. Trump is exposing
Extreme
a whole
disrespect.
lot of crime and corruption. Like the over 1 million accounts of crime and over 1 million accounts of corruption from his DOJ for illegally redacting the names and personally identifying information of non-victims and non-survivors in the Epstein files.
Dean, if
Donald
you
Trump's
love
name
kids-
was actually redacted
All right,
over
I'm gonna need to go ahead,
950,000
stop.
times. Illegally by his own DOJ. Yeah, that got exposed. He's doing a great at exposing his own fraud, his own corruption. Why don't you talk about that fraud? Why don't you talk about that corruption? Oh, you laughed. Aw. Okay. I know that you said you wanted to. I know that you said you wanted to talk to this guy yesterday. Hello, Liam.
Can you just call me rent free?
Rent free?
Yes, rent free.
In my queue, yeah.
Yeah, I said whenever my name pops up in your queue,
Yeah. You do live
the
rent free.
entire chat and yourself are triggered by
One
my
second.
presence. So
You
I
do
wanna
live
call
rent
myself
free in my
rent-free.
queue. Yeah, that's fine. You do live rent free in my queue. You're there like every day for 4 hours. Rent free.
No, I'm not. Last
Yeah, you are.
time I was up was like 2 weeks ago, and I was instantly I got clocked for harassment and bullying.
I know
from
because
your
you
audience.
can't harass nor bully.
No,
Can
no,
you try
no,
your
no,
best to
no,
abide
no,
by
no.
the
I didn't
TOS?
say anything inappropriate, little fella.
Listen,
Nothing.
little fella, can you try your best to abide by the TOS, little fella?
Oh, I have every time I've ever been on your live, little fella.
I don't think that's true, little bro.
Oh yeah, it is. You know, this is the strategy.
All right,
And
why
I know
are
what
you
it is.
why are you calling me little bro when I'm just objectively?
Listen, there's like a
the only real man talking right now because Santana's being
Dean,
quiet. If Santana were to talk, you'd
Dean,
also be
there's
real
a
man.
there's a Robin signal that gets sent out because you're not Batman, but there's a Robin signal that gets sent out when you're like, I'm getting dog walked. Please mass report the guest right now. And I know how it works, and it works well,
Telepathy?
dude.
Do I do it
No,
with
you
telepathy?
got it down.
Do I just
got it
do I
down,
just
brother.
telepathically communicate with all the viewers, telling them to report
So
the
you-
guest?
Look me in the eyes. Stop staring off. Turn straight. There you go. Nope. Turn so we can see your eyes. I want to
You
see
can
your
see my
pupil.
eyes?
Yeah. No, that's not.
You want
there
to
you
see?
go.
You want to see
there
my?
it
You want to see my
is.
pretty eyes?
Okay, now listen. No. That's for your mommy to tell you. I'm not going to tell you that. Nope. Other camera. I don't want to see your side profile. I want to see
You're
you
not
straight.
you're not gonna boss me around, bro. Side
Listen,
profile's what you got.
your one hair follicle is coming out of your face right there. I don't want to see it. So turn to the other camera. Okay.
What?
Your lack of ever having facial hair is sort of coming out on your cheek. So turn to the other camera. It's a lot better.
That's a pimp.
Do me a favor. I'm telling you one hair follicle on your entire face. We get it. You were telling the last guest you have high testosterone with no facial hair.
Super high. Because I don't know if you're familiar with this thing. It's called a razor, and I use one
For what? For what? For
to
what?
shave my facial
For what?
hair.
Oh my! What facial hair? Well,
The
let's
facial
debate
hair
this.
that you don't see because I shave it. like
somebody clock
yeah,
it. Somebody clock it.
like yeah, the
lift your
facial
chin.
hair that you
Show
don't
us the-
see because
us
I
the
shave
two-
it.
Show us the. What hair? What hair in your face? Come on.
The hair that you don't see because I shave it. Liam, I understand that you have a lot of facial hair, but that's because you got a hair transplant from the top of your head to the bottom of it. Take that hat off, it's like a fucking hockey rink up there, dude. Listen, and that'd be me. That'd be me if I wasn't on my medication. All right, I was going bald until.
Why would you take medication to make yourself look like something that you? Is this an identity problem or something?
Actually,
Who
yeah,
cares?
it's gender affirming care. Yeah.
Gender affirming care.
Yeah, I'm
So
on
next-
gender affirming care. Yeah.
Next to what? You mutilate your genitals? Next? What happens here?
Yeah, chop it off like sushi, right? Who remembers
No,
that?
is
guys?
that the next thing? Is that gender affirming care?
No, I'm just simply showing you that even like cis men can engage in the use of gender affirming care.
Here comes the muting, ladies and gentlemen.
With the
Here
type
he
of
is.
gender affirming care that I use, being finasteride
So
and
wait a
minoxidil to
minute.
keep my hair.
So it starts with cutting and combing your hair a certain way, and then it goes to your genitals. Is that the jump?
No. There are multiple kinds
Why
of
are you
gender
talking
affirming
about his
care.
genitals?
Yeah, why are you earlier you're calling me like a little boy and now you're talking about my penis?
Wow, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy that you.
That
think
is
that
crazy, Liam.
You're the one that brought up gender affirming care and was the
You're the one that brought up my penis.
I just want to know if that's how it starts.
You just want to know about it? Why do you want to know about it? Why? What?
I said I want to.
Wait. So I just want to clarify. You said that I was a little boy, and then you went on talking about my genitals. Like, what the? Who the hell does that?
Little boy meant your testosterone levels, bro.
Oh, so you affirm that you called me a little boy. Wait, do you typically ask to see little boys' genitals?
God, wow! How do you jump? How do you jump to that? How do you
Because
do
you
that?
called me a little boy, then you asked to see my
That's
genitals?
so extreme, dude.
I mean,
wow.
You said that it is
You're
true that
so
you think I'm a
gross,
little
bro.
boy, and then you asked to see my genitals. Well, you asked about my genitals, I should say. You
I
didn't
mean,
ask to
you're
see them.
acting like a little boy, you know. So
Anyways, Santana, yeah, I know that you probably wanted him to come up here for a reason. So,
Oh, I just wanted to do my Liam impersonation. Like that's it. So,
God,
would
what
you like to hear it?
impersonation is that?
Would you like to hear it?
You want to be a real? No, is that your little thing
I
that
got
you
you, don't
play?
worry about
your
it.
little background you
don't
play.
worry about it,
yeah,
I got
here
you,
it
I got
is.
you.
It's
Hold on,
lame.
you
we
have to
get it.
listen. You have to listen.
No, I don't
Ready?
want to listen. It's dumb, dude. We've already heard
Oh,
it.
come on. You
'Cause
haven't.
you can't debate, bro.
You haven't. I got you. Don't worry about it.
You can't
My
debate,
name is
big fella.
Liam, and I want to talk about little boys because I like little boys for some reason. And I got dead fish eyes. I'm Liam. That's my Liam impression.
Wow, so
oh, that's all that you wanted up
informative.
him. That's all that you wanted him up here for.
That's all I really had. I didn't think that he would have the ability to actually. He came in with a lack of ability to act. When he came in and was like pipe down and all the weird shit, I already knew he wasn't going to be productive. So
Yeah,
I chose violence.
Oh, have you ever met this guy before? He's kind of like a frequent on our TikTok lives. We have him up for like 2 minutes. He gets banned, then we move on.
I tried to talk to him. Is the one with the iconography? The talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, he won't stop crashing out. Like I've never had an opportunity to actually speak with him.
I just have a simple question, if that's okay.
For sure. Are you a Trump supporter?
So, why did you cry for Charlie Kirk but not for innocent pigs in the slaughterhouse? What did pigs ever do to oppress people?
Jeez,
Isn't that funny? It's pretty easy to laugh as a white privileged kid, isn't it, Dean? You think that's funny? You give me all the material I need, eh? You're a goat, kid. Grow up. You think that's funny? So why did you cry for Charlie Kirk but not for innocent pigs in a slaughterhouse? What's the difference? And why does Momo get protection but a cow gets put on your plate?
Well, because Momo was my kitty.
Yeah, what's the difference?
One's my kitty, one's not my kitty. Very, very, very similar.
Why do you eat one? That's not an answer. Why do you justify eating one animal but you protect another?
Well, because one is really cute and I love them and they're my cat.
So it's about cuteness.
Well,
okay.
wow,
Dean,
can,
you say you
can
expose
you
yourself way
deny
too much, kid, eh?
that Momo's really cute? Can you deny it?
This is irrelevant. It's about sentience.
No! I need you to know you are not a true vegan if you cannot acknowledge that Momo's really cute.
You're exposing yourself a lot, Dean. You should calm it
do.
down.
It was like you're exposing yourself.
You're exposing. You can't call Momo cute.
I made a documentary about you.
A whole documentary.
You should really check. It's not just about you. You're an episode in it. The Dinus Politicus Carnivorous Paradoxus. You should watch it. 400,000 views, buddy. Go have a look.
Holy shit!
Why do you buy it?
You're the animal, bro. Now you're the animal exploited.
Wait, I'm the animal
like
being
it?
exploited?
Yeah, you like that? Dinus Politicus Carnivorous Paradoxus. Wake up to yourself.
Wait, where can I see my documentary?
Why did you cry for Charlie Kirk, buddy, and not for an innocent pig? When did a pig ever oppress anybody?
Well, I think it's this is a bad
Or when did
question
a
because
pig ever call for
well,
public
that's a bad
executions?
question because I think that Charlie Kirk was quite the pig, right?
Mm.
But anyways, where can I watch the documentary you made
When did a
about
pig
me?
ever call for public executions?
Well, Charlie Kirk. Now, where can
Yeah,
I
come
find
on,
this
mate.
documentary you made on me?
I know you're young and you're only 21, man. I'll give you time, but come on, you've
Can
had
you
3
answer the
years
question? Where
being
can
an
I find the
adult to wake
documentary?
up to yourself. It's on my page. It's pinned. It's the grey one. It starts with a sad cow.
With a super sad cow.
It's the grey one. It's pinned.
Oh, yeah, that's a really
bro.
sad cow. Oh, the one that you botted?
Yeah, man. You think it's funny? It's not funny, yeah.
Are you talking about the one that you bought?
But I appreciate you giving me the platform and take your time with it. But think about veganism, man. It's important. I don't hate you, but no need to bully me.
Oh my God! Wait, I am in it. Wait, let's watch this.
And so is Jade. Jade, who's spoken to you before, but you didn't listen to her, even though she's sweet as pie.
Wait, let's be quiet.
Do something about it. I become vegan right now.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, do you see me? This is brutal. This is brutal. This is brutal. We're just gonna go hang out here by the back door. Just for a minute. Get a good breath of air real quick.
In the vast, interconnected ecosystem of the digital age, certain behaviors evolve to command attention. Our subject, the Western political influencer, known to his tribe as the Dean, species named Dinus politicus carnivorus paradoxus, occupies a precarious niche. We begin by observing a critical ritual, the preparation of sustenance.
But you know what is what we want? That beautiful fucking seer. Yeah, for all the haters. For all the haters, this is for you.
In his domain, the preparation of cooked flesh is a performative act, a declaration of status. Observe the searing to perfection, an attempt at culinary dominance.
What the fuck is that?
It's Wild Live. It's called TikTok Wild Live. Go
What
episode
is that? Wait, did you just glorify the cooking of flesh?
No,
It
I
seems
just
like
put
he
the
did.
spotlight on you.
It
You thought
wait,
it was funny that animals are exploited, so
Wait,
I'm
would
doing
you
the
ever
same
post
to you,
a
buddy.
video of a human cooking another human's flesh?
No.
So then why would you post a human of a cooking a pig
Are you
cow's
gonna play
flesh,
semantics
given the
now?
fact that you think that
Look,
human and
man,
cows
I
are
don't care.
morally
I'm happy
identical
that
to one
you did that
another?
For the animals. This is what
Wait,
split hairs
answer
now,
the question.
semantics.
Given the fact that you think that humans and cows are morally identical to one
You're a
another,
pedantic
why
little
would
silly
you post a
question.
video of me cooking the flesh of a cow, but you wouldn't post a video of me cooking the flesh of a human?
I would, well, probably for legal purposes, it would be dangerous to post your example.
Oh, so if it was
Right, and
legal,
I'm
you
doing
would post
advocacy for
videos of
animals,
humans
not for
cooking and eating
humans.
humans?
I'm doing advocacy for animals, not humans.
Wait, I
buddy.
just want to clarify.
Okay?
If
It's
it
like
was
your little
legal,
sign
you
up
would
top
post videos
for
of
Trump.
humans cooking and eating
Come
other
on,
humans?
buddy, don't be silly. Don't be silly. How did you?
Good to see you again, Nathan. He's calmed down quite a bit, huh?
It seems like it. I mean, he didn't crash out, so that's at least something.
I know, right?
But I
Yeah.
mean, to me, that seemed like advertising for how do you cook a good steak.
Right.
So
right.
I don't know. I don't
We're
know.
gonna move on to the next guest. You know, I repeat this every time that guy comes up here. I actually don't have anything against veganism. I'm pretty agnostic on the subject matter. I continue to explore it, but you know, I do have something against that guy. I just think that he's rather annoying. So we have him every once in a while just to fuck with him.
You know what's interesting? Not all vegans are that annoying, though.
Oh, fuck
Just
no.
him.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I have vegan family members, dude.
Yeah.
They're not screaming at me saying, "Oh, you hypocrite! You were basically a mass murderer. Go to jail at once, die in this hole." You know, like I don't hear that from my vegan family members.
This is with the iconography. They put the iconography on the screen.
Honestly, really good impression, bro. What's going on? Do you sport Trump? Hello. Okay, they're not here either. We're going to move on to the next guest, folks. Right now, hop inside of that queue. If you happen to be MAGA, we'll happily get you up here and we'll have a good conversation. We have around another 40 minutes left on live.
How's your stream been?
It's been okay. I honestly may get off a little bit early because I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty hungry. I'll keep it a buck. I'll keep it real. All right, real quick. Thank you so much, S, for the 20 Australian dollars over on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much for that love. S with the 20 Australian dollars says, on behalf of all Australians, we are sorry for this guy. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for the 20 Australian dollars, S. Show some love to S down below. And then Tommy with the $10 says, Dean, I love you, but these quote-unquote debates that are just people attacking your looks while you laugh are so boring. If they can't properly debate, I feel like they should just be kicked. Well, probably like a good critique. I probably do entertain like the deviant trolls a little bit too much. Thank you for the love. Welcome in, Joey. Do you support Trump?
I voted for Trump. I still support my vote in Trump, but I wouldn't, like, if he ran again, I wouldn't vote for him again.
Okay, you don't like if you were teleported back to November of 2024, would you vote for him again if you're teleported back in time, knowing everything that you do now?
No, because I believe that he was a better choice over Kamala Harris, but I didn't want him to be I felt like it was between bad and bad.
Okay, well, I mean, that just kind of goes down to like you accepting that, you know, the Trump administration is bad, and us not really having a conversation surrounding that and more so about why Kamala Harris was good. Just because like we're so like far past the 2024 election, and the main point is now just to convince people that Trump admin bad. I am gonna go to move on. I appreciate you for being transparent though. Let's go to get the next guest loaded up in the box right now, y'all. We got a Sal Guy 74 loading in.
That's such a cop out though.
Oh shit. If I have one question.
Do you support Trump?
Not anymore. But if I was a
based, but we're only looking for people that do, so we are going to go to move on at this point in time. You take care. Let's go to get that next guest. We got Mark loading up in. A couple of people to thank real quick, dude. Thank you so much for the $100, Kathy. Thank you so much for the love, Kathy. I want to see 1,000 Kathy W's down below in that chat. Queen Kathy is back, y'all. It's so good to see you again. You know I love you, Kathy. Dude, you're in here like every day showing up and showing out. I want to see 1,000 W's for Kathy. Thank you so much for the support. Kathy with $100 says, I'm vegan, but I would never be this guy. Dude, I had no clue. Kathy is like one of our like largest donors who's always here. I love the how, like if you've ever been here before, you've heard the name Kathy before. You know, there's very sane and rational vegans. Not that guy though. Thank you for the $100, Kathy. I'd also like to thank Caroline. Thank you so much for the $20 who says you got to hand the dude with the documentary thing, though. He is dedicated to embarrassing himself while entertaining all of us. Yeah, what was that, bro? I've never seen that before. That was pretty crazy. Thank you for the $20, Caroline. Let's show some love to Caroline. And then Charlie, thank you so much for another $26 donation on PayPal. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Show some love to Charlie down below. I really do appreciate you for that $26 donation. Same thing to you on Dean. Thank you for the $10. Who says little men would rather talk about testosterone than his president being a rapist and a pedophile, right? Then Spraker, thank you so much for the $11. Who says my chosen name is Stella. Okay, Stella, thank you for the $11. I'm a trans woman, and it means a lot when you defend people like me. I don't understand why some people hate trans people. I don't get why being me is a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, Stella. There's just a bunch of bigots out there who then spend money on convincing other people to be bigoted, to focus on you, to distract away from the real issues, because trans people aren't an issue. Thank you so much for the $11. Over on Venmo, I'd also like to thank Joseph. Thank you for the $20 over on Venmo to kick that vegan. And here's $20 for you and your girlfriend to have a steak on me. Thank you for that love, Joseph. And then Ivy, thank you so much for the $30 over on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love. Who says, man, I love the Dean Withers show. Can't believe that some random MAGA Liam is sexually harassing. Wanted to know what's in your pants. Your reaction brought the biggest smile on my face. Call out them. Crazies. Appreciate you for the $30, Ivy. It's good to see you again today. Let's get 300 IVWs. And then Charlie, thank you so much for the love, for another $11 over on Venmo. Emma, Sierra, and Jay, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. Alexis, thank you for the $15 who says excellent work. Thank you so much for the love. And then Ross, R-O-S, Ross Witha. There we go. Ross Witha. What an interesting name. Thank you for the $30 who says thank you for our talk earlier and opening our eyes. Oh, you're from earlier. Yeah, that's really cool that I was able to help change your mind. You're cool. You're awesome. And then one more here. Come on, thank you so much for the $20 who says, hey, Dean, I personally thank you for entertaining some of the jerks. It could be a nice minute of entertainment after listening to these vile cult members. No, I get you there. You know, it is almost like a little bit of a break, right? From like hearing people defend like predatory shit and rape. Because you rather just hear them like whining about my testosterone and then getting laughed at. All right.
That's how you know when they don't have anything, when they do that.
Yeah, sure is.
I have a couple of quick thank yous, and one from yesterday that I didn't get this. I hopped off so quick, and Stephanie, if Stephanie's watching, Stephanie sent $100 yesterday through Cash App, and I didn't get to say thank you and there was no way for me to directly reply. But Stephanie, thank you so much for that yesterday. Also, Heather, thank you for the 5. Natasha, thank you so much for the 20. Megan, thank you for the 1. Rachel, thank you so much for the 50. Yes, I will be treating my wife with it. And Emily, thank you so much for the 5.
Welcome in, Nate Dogg. Do you support Trump? Nate Dogg. Oh, he's back on the phone. Hello, Nate Dogg. I hope he doesn't know he's on the phone. So I'm just going to go kick him. Let's go to move on to the next guest. We get Brandon Williams loading up into the box right now, quite frankly. Hello, welcome in, Brandon. Do you support Trump?
Hello. Yes.
Okay, how old are you?
31.
What year are you born in?
1994.
Okay, and could you disconnect me from like any Bluetooth device that you've connected to your phones, like headphones, AirPods, so et cetera, so on and so forth?
Okay. Can you hear me better?
I can. Why do you support Trump? Did he just disappear?
I'm telling I was on, I had to get off early because I only stayed on for like 3 hours earlier because when I tell you they kept doing that, Dean, like they literally kept doing that. And I spent about 40 minutes debating one guy about what we were debating about. I know that makes no sense, but he wouldn't, they've been horrible today. Like absolutely the worst.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. I bet maybe some of the viewers can tell, but I feel like pretty drained. And we're really like not too far into the stream either. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
It doesn't look like he's loading.
Moving on to the next guest, folks. Moving on to the next guest. Only up inside of that queue if you're MAGA. I'd really appreciate it if you'd follow the rules, please, and thank you. Okay, who is next? We got Dr. Zara loading up into the box. Here we go. Hopefully they're a Trump supporter. Talk to a MAGA doctor. That's crazy. Hello, welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, hi. My name is Judy. I own a small clinic. And I just wanted to ask you, do you think Trump is for us, for small clinics? Because I'm a primary care clinic and I have practiced, I have taught. I just wanted to know what your thoughts are.
Well, I'd say that making Medicaid through the ACA unaffordable for 45 million Americans and then taking it away from 10 million Americans, that it being Medicaid, is definitely not for any small clinics because, of course, a lot of the income in small clinics relies on patients that come to you with health insurance, including Medicaid. Now, if that's all that you had to ask, I'm going to move on to the next guest, and I appreciate you for the work that you do in medicine. I think that small clinics are very important. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box right now, folks. I legitimately cannot find anybody inside of the queue that supports Donald J. Trump as president that's done to come up here and have a conversation with me and Parker. Not Parker, sorry, Santana. I've been doing a lot of Parker co-hosts recently.
Parker and I do look like twins. I get it all the time. Like all the time. We get confused.
Well, the thing is when I do a lot of co-hosts with like Parker, then I call any other co-hosts Parker. Then when I do like a lot of co-hosts with you, for instance, then I call any other co-hosts that. So, I mean, I get it. Hi, welcome in. Do you support Trump?
I support his ideas.
Okay, but do you support him?
Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of his execution of it.
Okay, but overall, are you happy that Trump is president? Are you sad that Trump is president? Is he a net beneficial? Is he net detrimental? Like, what is it?
I would say, yeah, he's been doing pretty good, but I guess the main reason why I joined the queue was because my biggest question, I guess, is for you, is I have seen you kind of popping around your debates and everything like that.
Well, I'm so sorry. Could you please repeat that answer, please?
I guess, what was your question?
Yeah, like, overall, are you happy with this presidency?
Sure.
Oh, okay, wow, okay. So why is that? Why do you support Trump?
I'm supporting his ideas. I'm not supporting his execution.
Okay, then why would you be happy with the Trump presidency? Because ultimately, it's not the ideas that impact you. It is the execution.
Okay, I kind of see your point there.
All right.
I guess I'm sorry. I frankly was not expecting to get into this debate. I guess I was not quite ready for this. My biggest kind of question was for you, actually, was you do have a great big platform, and
Do you
that's
mind if I just
awesome.
quickly ask you how old you are?
I'm 25.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I would just like, I honestly, my biggest thing is like, I do respect both sides. And my biggest thing is that I just don't like seeing both, like the bashing on both sides, So you have a very big platform, and I hear just within the last like half an hour, you've gotten over like $400 worth of donations. And I understand, you have to support yourself, and you're doing this as a living. And
I don't know if that claim is true, but I haven't been keeping track of the total
Also,
amount. but go
pocket
ahead.
watching is super weird.
I'm not just like, do you have any plans for those donations, or is that money
Pocket
just kind of going to you?
Well, sorry, I'm just gonna hop in for a second. Pocket watching is like super weird. I can speak from like the Black perspective. In the Black community, we don't pocket watch because like that's an odd thing. But also, to be honest, to come up on a TikTok live where someone's saying, "Hey, respect my boundaries. We're looking for debates," and for you to come up and say like, "Hey, what are you doing with the money that you got?" Like, that's super strange. And even more so, like, when people do good things, you're not supposed to brag about the good things that you do. Like, it's not about flaunting the good things that you do. It's about doing the good things for a good reason. So coming up and saying like, hey, what are you doing with the money? Like, there's better ways to do it. If you really wanted to find out, you could reach out on the back end. You can, shoot an email, Discord, things like that. But hopping on a TikTok live in front of thousands of people, especially when someone's saying like, hey, respect my boundaries, I'm looking for a debate, just to actually shift it to a question that you want, like, that's super rude and selfish. Please don't do that.
But I don't mind like kind of answering it because of course my income is public, and I thank people for donations when they send them in. Oh, she just left.
I'm sorry. I've just had a real issue with like boundaries, especially when like there's places, spaces, and opportunities to engage with people. And for people to break those boundaries, especially when like you're going through and you're trying to get a debate and you're trying to keep the live flowing, and for people just to like break the boundary, I'm really like, I'm a stickler when it comes to my live, and it just sometimes it bothers me, and I apologize for overstepping, but it bothers me when you guys are like going back to back to back where people just like break boundaries. Consent is so important.
I mean,
consent is super important.
What you said is true, but simultaneously, like I don't mind like being like kind of transparent about what I do with it, since it's all public. I exclaim them and I thank them publicly. It's like I'm kind of the one laying the groundwork for giving everyone else an in to the money that I make, because I'm the one, like, for instance, Oscar just sent an $11 donation of Venmo, and I say thank you, I appreciate you, Oscar, for the $11. So I'm kind of the one that gives the in to my income, so I don't mind like answering relative like baseline questions, but I appreciate you so much for the $11, Oscar. Oscar says, how are you doing, Dean? I don't know, man, I'm feeling tired, but it is what it is. I hope you're doing well, Oscar. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do. Honestly, I was not thinking I was even going to get in here, and also, excuse my voice, I have a cold right now, but yes, I do.
Okay, all right, sounds good, man. I'm just going to take a moment here and thank a couple people, then I'll pass it to Mike. Eric, thank you so much for the $5 over at Venmo. Peyton, thank you so much for the $5. And then Samantha, thank you so much for the $5 as well. He says, thank you for everything that you do. Thank you so much for your kindness, Samantha. Over on PayPal, Katarina, thank you so much for the $20. Who says, take Santana out for bacon cheeseburger and dedicate it to the angry Aussie vegan. I appreciate you so much for the $20, Katarina. It'll buy some bacon cheeseburgers. And then Charlie, thank you for the $9. If you're watching and you want to support me, you can find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio on my TikTok account. Pin message over on YouTube, and the handle's at the top of the phone screen. Same thing goes for Santana. And the link tree in his bio, you can find his pay links as well. Wyatt just left. Why? It's every single one of them.
They've been doing this all day.
Dude, like
all
what?
day.
Like what the hell is going on, man? Welcome in.
I support Trump because he's a racist just like you, Dean.
Wow, that's crazy. You think I'm a racist? Why?
You are.
Why is that?
Everybody knows, man. This
Okay, could I get an explanation of the view when you think I'm a racist?
Do you not remember when you made that video?
What video?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't. You'll have to.
You're a
inform me.
racist just like Trump.
Okay, why?
He knows what he's talking about.
Just be specific. Don't be vague, bro. Why do you think I'm racist?
He's mad and doesn't know why he's mad. He's mad and he doesn't know why he's mad. Hey, I don't know if you got a chance to see the video the other day, though. I said, Like their whole thing now is they're calling me a racist, but then they're also calling you a racist. But I'm like, okay, who's the racist? Like, what are we doing? Like, what's the action? They have no idea. Now they're just throwing it around because they have nothing. It's fucking wild.
Listen, man, I think that, there is a lot of people that are very angry with me and upset at me and don't like me because of a combination of factors. And a lot of them don't really know why they're so angry and upset and mad at me, but they just are angry, upset, and mad at me. Even people on the left, like outside of these live streams, like I think inside of these live streams, this is kind of like, the community. I'd say that most of the people on the left that engages with these lives on a day-to-day basis probably has like a positive depiction of me, positive view on me. But then you leave these live streams and you just kind of go look at like the general dialogue surrounding Dean Withers on the left. And I mean, it is a very controversial dialogue, a lot of people, just saying, oh, I absolutely hate Dean. I think that Dean is a super duper bad person, like so on and so forth. And that's like a very popular belief for a lot of the people on the left, which is interesting. Welcome in, Eric. Do you support Trump?
Hell no. I know you're trying to talk to people who are like.
We are, Eric. I do appreciate you, though. You have a good one. Have a good one. We're just looking for Trump supporters. Let's go to move on to the next guest, folks. We don't have too long left on the stream, so I'd really like to try to find absolutely anybody who's an American adult that supports Trump as president. Moving on to the next guest right now. Hi, do you support Trump?
What's up? Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 24.
Okay, could you disconnect us from any type of Bluetooth device that you have connected to your phone, please?
It's just my AirPods.
Yeah, if you disconnect your AirPods, we'll be able to hear you significantly better.
Never mind. Oh, no, never mind.
It's fine. You left too. I was just going to say, like, it's fine if you just want to talk to us through the AirPods. Like, that's fine, okay? We'll take what I could get. It just would be better if you disconnected them and then you just said, never mind, and dipped. Bro, this is crazy. What, like, you were saying that this has been going on? I guess so, man.
All day. I had a guy come up and he tried to make a point and I was like, all right, well, let me give you the premise for my argument. And I laid it out and he just left. Like, didn't say a word, just like immediately left as soon as I finished with it. It's like all day this is what's been happening.
I think that they've just like gained consciousness surrounding the fact that they can leave. So like now that they've collectively gained consciousness of that fact, they're really taking good advantage of it. Hi, do you support Trump?
Yes.
How old are you?
18.
What year were you born in?
2007.
Okay, and why do you support the worst president of your life, Miss Adriana?
Because I feel like nobody really focuses on agriculture. It is a very small percentage of the United States, families that are in agriculture. And I
think there's quite a few people that focus on agriculture. I mean, agriculture kind of, sustains the world
I'm
we live
saying
in.
in debates, I've never really seen people actually talk about.
Yeah, we don't really
benefiting it more.
We don't really go over agriculture too much in the debates here. I think that we've really seen Trump harm agriculture. But I mean, that aside, why do you support Trump?
Well, and can I say really quick, one of my favorite things to talk about with agriculture and Trump is the fact that under Donald Trump, his first administration, bankruptcies for farmers spiked by 24%. And it's doing the exact same thing. Legacy farms got sold off. Big farms bought up the small farms. Grocery prices skyrocketed, and he's been super harmful again. But yeah, it's not good when it comes to Trump. Anyway, as Dean was saying, why else do you support Trump?
Well, since January 2025, the USDA has provided over $30 billion in aid to farmers.
Okay.
I would say that's pretty helpful to the agricultural community.
How much did they provide in 2024?
I don't know.
Okay, so how do you know that
Okay.
it's not less than what they provided under Biden?
Also, the question would be why, and I know why, and I'm hoping you know why, and also it wasn't like at the start of the administration. There's so much behind like what you're saying. I'm really hoping you actually looked up more than just like a number.
Okay. I just wanted to hear your opinion on what you think the other side has benefited to.
Guys, everyone in the chat is spamming that this guest is 15. I don't think that's true. She has a video on her account of like last day of freshman year, last day of sophomore year, last day of junior year, last day of senior year, and then like high school graduation, like mid last year, which would line up with her being 18. So I think she's telling the truth, but go ahead.
I wanted to hear your opinion on what you think the other side has benefited to agriculture.
Well, I mean, I think that, once again, I'd like a source to demonstrate that the $30 billion given to agriculture by the USDA in 2025 was either more than, it was like significantly more than what was being provided under the Biden-Harris administration. Also, in these conversations surrounding why you shouldn't support Trump, I guess the reason why the first place that my mind goes isn't agriculture is because we see the Trump administration defending the murder of citizens in broad daylight. We see the Trump administration just destroying all industries, likely including agriculture. Last year, we had the most manufacturing bankruptcies and layoffs worst annualized job report since 2009. All right? We're watching families being torn apart. We're watching 2-month-olds being detained in ICE detention facilities. We're watching illegal immigrants be shipped over to CICA in El Salvador, where they're then beaten and tortured. We're watching our president threaten to start a war with our allies and destroy NATO. And we're watching our president disrupt global trade all around this world with the Liberation Day tariffs imposed mid 2025, which led to a significant decline in the amount of monthly manufacturing jobs that we added to this country, and hostile conflicts with nearly every other country in the face of planet Earth, right? I guess like agriculture really isn't the first place that my mind goes, but I would assume that agriculture was hurt a lot with his tariffs. Okay, like for instance, when he imposed tariffs on China in his first term, that led to retaliatory tariffs from them on us, and then our soybean exports dropped exponentially, which bankrupted a shit ton of American farmers, and it was so bad that he then had to pass the farm bill to bail these farmers out by giving them billions and billions of dollars, not to go out of business because of how badly he hurt them.
Also, there's no record of the USDA giving farmers $30 billion in 2025. Like, that's not true. There was an emergency $12 billion that was passed in December of 2025. But outside of that, there's no $30 billion anywhere.
9.3 billion was via the Emergency Commodity Assistance Program, and
that was in 2024.
Okay. And where'd you read that? So I can look, because I don't want to be uneducated. I do want to actually
Literally,
learn.
it's the information that you can pull from USDA.gov, and you could take a look at the Farmers First, the 9 billion. You could take a look back at the additional 12 billion that was granted. You could take a look at why they had to actually pass the additional packages, including Donald Trump screwing over the farmers with the subsidies, and then the trade war with China that impacted the not only the soybeans, but a lot of our produce that we actually export to China. And then you also incorporate like cattle farmers and all this other stuff. Again, I said, did you take a look at the reason why? The reason why they had to give additional subsidies is because when Donald Trump first took office, and he and Doge actually stopped a ton of subsidies, which almost crippled farmers, like literally had farmers in Arkansas crying, like literally crying. And they had to finally release emergency funds to keep some of these farms afloat. And that was after they had been going back and forth as far as like, China and all this other stuff. So I'm not sure where you got any of the numbers that you got or looking at what you're looking at. But like, again, the reason why they had to do those emergency funds, the reason why they had to do those subsidies originally under the Biden administration is because of Trump's first tariff war. And the reason why they had to give that additional emergency aid package at the end of 2025 is because Donald Trump's trade war again. He's literally been really bad for farmers. But farmers keep voting for him for some weird reason.
That's kind of my point, is why it was 76% of farming counties in 2020 that voted for Donald Trump, and 77% in
Republicans
2024.
vote against their own best interests. Yes, Republicans vote against their own best interests all the time.
Well, I feel like
literally
if
all
their
the
farm
time.
was truly like hurting that bad under red, why would they keep voting for it? It was kind of
Because they vote against, because they would much rather be racist than they would rather make money. And I'm not even joking. I'm not even throwing that out. Literally, there was a comprehensive study completed by Citibank Group that saw that America has lost out on $16 trillion with the T due to racist practices. Literally. The point being is, when you had a black woman, misogynoir is real, and farmers tend to vote Republicans because they think they're conservative. But it's literally, you look at any of these red states and they tend to vote against their best interests. That's why a lot of the red states are lower in health, income, lower in education. Like they continue to vote against their own best interests because, I hate to say this, but people who vote conservative tend to be less educated. They deal with a lot less critical thinking, and so they don't actually research. They just believe propaganda.
Well, I don't want to group all 77% of farming counties as racist, because I think that's
No, I'm just saying
that's
a
where
lot of people would prefer
violence
to like.
comes in when you make statements like.
No. I'm leaning on the fact that literally to the tune of $16 trillion, again with the T, people in America have chosen to be racist versus actually putting money in their pocket. That's the point that I'm making.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to hear your opinion on that, and that's all I wanted.
All right, that's all?
Yeah.
Okay, take care.
You too.
All right. Give me one moment here, folks. And by the way, Santana, I absolutely believe what you're telling me that study says. I think that, there really is an economic benefit to egalitarianism. There's an economic benefit towards being actively anti-sexist, racist, so on and so forth, homophobic, transphobic, because then it allows the market to function in such a way that uplifts individuals' merit and doesn't lead to baseless discredit on the basis of these different characteristics. So I think that we could very clearly expect better economic outcomes given that. Give me one moment.
Have I ever read you my favorite LBJ quote?
No, you've not.
This is from Lyndon Baines Johnson in 1964, before they passed the Civil Rights Act. And this is literally a quote from a former president of the United States of America. If you can convince the lowest white man that he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you picking his pocket. Hell, give him somebody to look down on and he'll empty his pockets for you. Literally, he's saying that if you can convince poor white people to be racist, they won't notice you stealing money from them.
Yeah, man. And it's absolutely fucking true. Santana, honestly, I'm gearing up here just to end the stream 10 minutes early.
Yeah.
I'm feeling rather tired tonight, rather out of it. I appreciate you so much for joining, as always, man.
Absolutely. I appreciate you.
Yeah, bro, you take care. Huge shout out to Santana. There's a couple people that I want to thank here real quick. Thank you so much, Scarlett, for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat, who says, I just got done with a video of a guy flat out crying for ice. Oh my god, Dean, where do you find these goblins? I think that was posted on my YouTube channel, I think. They're insane. They're just fucking insane. Honestly, I'm so tired today because of how insane some of these people have been. Paige, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo. And then Violet, thank you so much for the $25 over on Venmo. Violet with the $25 says, my daughter and I bond over your live. She's 13 and is more informed than a lot of 40-year-olds I know. Keep up the good work. Oh, trust me. She's definitely more informed than the average 40-year-old Trump supporter. Okay? Being old does not mean being informed. Holy moly. I think that we prove that to be true every single day on this live. But hey, also, real quick before I want to end the live, I just once again want to shout out Adam's fundraiser. It is in the link tree and my bio on TikTok. You could also find the link tree in the description over on the YouTube stream. Adam is one of our mods. He's been battling cancer for the last year and a month, almost on the dot. And he's been left with a lot of that bill to cover himself. And, we've been kind of doing a perpetual fundraiser for Adam, trying to help him out as much as we can at multiple points in the last year and a month. If you want to support him, his fundraiser is still active. It is still ongoing, and he still has bills to cover. It can be found once again in the link tree in my bio on TikTok, in the description over on the YouTube video. I would highly recommend, even if you don't plan on donating, just to go check it out and give it a read over. I'd highly recommend it. Seriously, highly recommend it. I think he's a good man. And, I'll always feel for people that, aren't just, struggling with a life-debilitating disease that could kill them, but also then on top of that, attempting to struggle with paying the bills. Now I'm going to go to an end for the night. I love and appreciate you all. See you all tomorrow. Peace and love. Good night and goodbye, folks.